It's the series rubber match between the Dodgers and the Braves after Atlanta took the opener 8-1. The Dodgers with a come-from-behind win in extras 5-3 last night. And we say welcome inside to get you set for Game 3 of this road trip. With Oral and Nomar, I'm Joe Davis. Celestino Rizzo joins us in just a moment. The offense got off to a slow start in this series. They got one run to get to within 3-1 last night. And then Adrian Gonzalez with the biggest swing of this road trip.
Well, we talked about that first game, them looking sluggish both offensively and defensively, and so you're looking for that spark. You needed something in the middle of this game yesterday, and Adrian Gonzalez provided that with a home run to tie the game, the big one that I think really just changed the whole momentum and the outlook of this game. Not only the fact that he tied the game, but also the help with the bullpen coming in and shutting it down for the eventual victory in those extra innings.
All right, so they get the win in 10 and set up a rubber match today, and you feel pretty darn good about it because Clayton Kershaw takes the ball.
Yeah, you feel pretty good about it, but Clayton Kershaw doesn't feel real good about his performance of late, especially with his breaking stuff. Let's hear from him of what he thinks.
It's kind of the same story as in San Francisco. You know, maybe it was a little bit better tonight, but the off-speed stuff still just isn't quite there yet. Overall, you know, still have a lot to get better at. The consistency of it, you know, wanting to throw a good one every time is definitely not there right now. So that's why I play. Just keep working.
Let's take a look at what Clayton considers inconsistent. The first pitch is going to be what he would consider a bad slider. Kind of leaves it over the middle of the plate. Not real sharp break. Kind of leaves it there and gives up a hit on it. Hunter Pence right there gets him to square it up. But the good one that he's looking for, the one that led to 301 strikeouts last year, that down and in back foot breaking ball that just disappears. And then the bad curveball, of course this is a bad one, spiked, a wild pitch, and he's looking for consistency. We're talking about a guy that is striking out less than a batter an inning, which his standard is above that. Well, this one is the one he needs to get the strikeouts up. The 6-foot to 1-foot curveball, that's the definition of 12-6. Watch out league when he's dissatisfied. He's 2-0 with a 1.64.
Yeah, not too bad. So what does that look like when he's feeling good? Maybe we'll see today against the Braves offense that has struggled this season. Well, the Dodgers bullpen struggled for a few games, but not lately. How good have these guys been over the last few games? Celestino Rizzo dives inside when we come back. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by T-Mobile. Get Major League coverage. T-Mobile has doubled its 4G LTE in the last year. Another beautiful day for some afternoon baseball here in the Eastern Time Zone. Dodgers and Braves ready for the series finale. Before first pitch, we check in with Alana Rizzo.
All right, Joe, thanks very much. The bullpen performing tremendously in yesterday's game. 6 1/3 innings of work of no-hit ball, keeping this team in it. And it's a very different look bullpen today for the Los Angeles Dodgers. First of all, Pedro Baez, after being hit in the back of the head with a ball, could still be going on the 7-day concussion DL. They're still getting tests and haven't exactly said whether or not that will happen. Lewis Coleman, unfortunately, on the bereavement list after losing his paternal grandfather. So he is on the bereavement list. And Luis Avilan, the left-hander, is being activated today. He is ready to go in the bullpen. So a lot of changes with this bullpen, as well as the fact that J.P. Howell unlikely available today, considering he had the 5 outs yesterday, guys.
All right, good stuff, Alana. Here's Matt Wisler, ready to make his 4th appearance this season, his 3rd start. His last appearance came in relief on Sunday in Miami. Picked up his first career save really out of desperation, because Arodys Vizcaíno, their closer, had thrown 35 pitches just 2 days prior. Chase Utley starts off by taking strike 1.
The one thing you can look for Matt Wisler is that he's got a fastball very similar to Julio Teheran, where it's got some tail to it, and when it's down in the zone, it has a tendency to sink hard.
Utley hits a fly ball down the left field line. Drew Stubbs won't get there.
And also, like Teheran, he also utilized that slider as his put away pitch, that wipeout slider. And it's an occasional curveball that he just likes to show, and then the changeup that he'll use to left-handers, kind of that fadeaway changeup.
It's a young man who made a big decision back in 2011 when he's drafted by the Padres. They offered $500,000, which was above his slot in the 7th round. Tell you what, scouts grade you not only on your ability but your signability, and he turned down a full ride to Ohio State and decided to turn pro. I think it's going to work out for him. Now 23 and got a really good live arm. The advice he got back then from his scouts and his coaches were to get used to the pitching every 5th day. That hasn't happened around here lately with all hands on deck. It's every 3rd day for him, almost every 4th day. You got a relief. You got to start. You got to be ready to face Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah, the scouts didn't mention that, right? When they said he should sign and get used to the wooden bats, not go play with the aluminum bats in the college game. In his home state, you mentioned Ohio State had offered him the full ride. He's out of Bryan, Ohio, and working on Chase Utley to start the day with the strikeout. So Utley takes strike 3 at the head of this Honda starting lineup. Corey Seager will try and break out of this mini early season slump. It is a much different looking lineup than we've gotten used to. Gonzalez moves up a spot. Jock Peterson, for the first time in his career, bats cleanup. Thompson, the highest he's hit in the order this year. Kike makes the start and left. A.J. Ellis in there, of course, catching Kershaw. And Charlie Culberson with his first start of the series. There's a strike to Corey Seager.
You know, looking at that lineup, we saw a lot of those left-handers at the top of the lineup, 1 through 4. Usually we see Dave Roberts go a lineup, you know, left, right, kind of that matchup mixing up. But I think that the other thing that might determine some of that.
Cue shot to 3rd. Adonis Garcia throws it away. And Seager reaches on a Garcia throwing error.
See if the Dodgers can capitalize on that mistake over there by Garcia. It was just kind of a cue shot. Watch this ball at the end right here, kind of come up on him. See how he just wasn't really sure. It wasn't the smoothest of fielding. And sometimes as an infielder, when you don't field it smooth, it kind of throws your whole rhythm off, and it even can affect your throw.
Have we seen enough of those bounces in this series alone where guys are thinking about it?
There is a lot. We talked about, to some of these guys, they talked about this infield being kind of in their back of their mind, not a really true hop from the grass to the dirt. And even Chase Utley mentioned it yesterday. He was getting interviewed and talking about that. You know, he had a bunch of defensive plays.
But does not forget, he's played here an awful lot. The amount of games that he has played here as a visitor, especially playing with the Phillies, he said it's a little different this year than in years past.
He's played more games in this ballpark as a visiting player than anybody. Adrian Gonzalez, we talked about it a few minutes ago. A huge swing last night to turn the momentum and tie the game with a 2-run homer in the 6th.
And I was just also talking about the amount of lefties that you have at the top of the lineup. A lot of it is because if you look at Matt Whistler's splits against left-handers and right-handers last year, left-handers were hitting almost 100 points higher than right-handers, over 320 on the left side. So I think that might be a factor that you see a lot of lefties at the top of the lineup.
Dave Roberts said that's part of the reason why Jock is hitting cleanup today. Like to match up with Whistler, no doubt. Seeing those surface numbers of him struggling against lefties. 2-0 on Gonzalez. We've seen a couple of times. You're talking about the infield playing poorly. Him not defensively, but the actual surface not being very true. We've seen a couple times Adrian go to the back of the circle here, grab some dirt, and bring it into the batter's box, and make it more to his liking under his feet.
And when the Dodgers almost doubled their error total for the year in game 1 of the series, you know, you actually wanted to kind of apologize for them. But now as the series gone on and we've watched the ground balls in this infield, we can start to really understand that there wasn't an excuse in game 1. It really is something that they have really had a tough time dealing with over the 3 games, and the Braves.
Yeah, Bob, like both teams.
Yep.
Seager at first with 1 away. And Whistler's 2-1 to Adrian Gonzalez. Upstairs. A good count for Adrian. Was homered against Whistler in 1 career game against him.
Well, when you scout Whistler with these left-hand hitters kind of dominating him, he has trouble throwing strikes inside the lefties. So as Nomar has taught us, you know, you can just give up on that side of the plate, pretty much look away. From his arm slot and the way he kind of drops his elbow on his delivery, you can just see he's going to have a natural tail away from the lefties. But then when he goes to throw the ball into lefties, he has a tendency to kind of pull it down and in for a ball.
Look, it's taking Adrian a little while to get back in the box. He was not happy with that last call.
Adrian Gonzalez on 3-2. Take strike 3. Throw to second is late. Seager's stolen the base. And twice in that at bat, Adrian Gonzalez not happy with the strike calls from Angel Hernandez.
Well, this breaking ball, the first one was away. That one, no, it shows K-zone saying it's catching the corner there. But I also think when you're, as a hitter, you're thinking about the pitch before, how that one you believed was off and they called it a strike, and then you see that one going away. You're just upset at the whole at bat because you're thinking it feel like it was taken away from you.
That's the second strikeout of this first inning for Matt Whistler, who was acquired in the Craig Kimbrell deal prior to last season, on the eve of last season. Sent Kimbrell to San Diego. Jock Peterson swings at the first one, floats it to shallow left. That will be caught by a charging Stubbs and then dropped. And Seager scores the game's first run. Boy, it was in his glove and then popped out. They rule it a base hit, and the birthday boy starts the scoring with an RBI single.
He's using the opposite field. He didn't crush it, but this ball's got a lot of spin on it. It hits leather for Stubbs, but I think it rattles around in there because of that spin, and the ground impacting it there pops out.
For back home, a ground cannot cause a fumble. That's in football, but not here in baseball. Yeah. So you have to come up with it, come up with an exchange.
That is the second time in less than 24 hours we've seen a Braves outfielder almost make a diving catch, unable to come up with it, and runs score as a result. The other time came in the 10th inning last night with Utley scoring the winning run and a ball hit by Justin Turner. Trace Thompson takes a generous outside corner strike. First time in this 3-game set the Dodgers have scored first. 8-1 loss in the opener. 5-3 come from behind win last night.
Jock Peterson over there at first. First time he's batted in the 4-hole, and he gets an RBI.
Yeah.
Hey, that boy, happy birthday. That away.
24.
Batting 1,000 out of the 4-hole.
Trace Thompson takes one upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. So it's the first time Jock has hit cleanup. It's the second time Thompson has hit out of the 5 spot. A much different looking lineup on this getaway day. Only 13 hours between the end of last night's 10-inning game and the start of today's series finale. One and two.
You can hear on the broadcast the field microphones picking up Dave Roberts.
Yep.
The loudest voice there you're hearing there. Come on, Chase. Trace.
I'm sure he was cheering on Chase too.
Yeah.
Little check swing shot down the right field line, and Francoeur comes on and makes the play on this one to retire the side. But the Dodgers get one. And an RBI single from Jock Peterson, and Clayton Kershaw takes the ball with the lead. With an RBI single, Dodgers in front 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the first inning, and Freddie Gonzalez hopes his team can get back in the win column after last night's extra innings loss. Here's the lineup that he sends up there. It's presented by Honda. It has Eric Ibar hitting out of the leadoff spot for the first time this year, with Nick Markakis, the Braves' best hitter this season, getting the day off. Castro is second. Freeman, Garcia, Flowers, and Francoeur through the middle, with Stubbs in left. Smith in center, and the pitcher Whistler batting ninth. All against Clayton Kershaw on his 4th start of the season. 2-0 with a 1.64. And facing the Braves for the 9th time in his career. That includes a couple of starts in the NLDS in 2013. He's never lost to Atlanta. Eric Ibar stands in and takes ball 1.
Almost any time when you break down Clayton Kershaw's statistics, you're going to find that he dominates. But one of the most impressive things I saw today was since 2013, the best ERA in the big leagues.
Ibar corks a line drive base hit down the left field line. And Ibar with extra bases to start the day against Kershaw.
And to finish that thought on Clayton Kershaw, the 2nd best ERA since 2013. is a half a point higher. Zach Greinke. And the reason that ERA is so good is because a lot of times when he starts an inning off like this, a little rough, he strands that guy at second base.
I'll tell you, if I'm the Braves, when you get an opportunity to face a guy like Clayton Kershaw and you get a leadoff double, you try to find a way to produce at least just one run. You're not looking for that big inning.
Daniel Castro out of the 2 spot. Takes a ball. 3rd consecutive start in the 2 spot for him. And his 4th start this year was called up last week when Hector Oliveira was put on the paid administrative leave. The assault and battery investigation. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You can see Castro on that swing, him trying to go the other way as he's supposed to.
Five hits for Castro so far. 2 of them came last night. And his first 2 runs batted into the season came last night. It made it 3-0 in the 5th before the Dodgers rallied to tie it and win it in extras. Kershaw's 1-1. Bunted through for strike 2.
Sometimes managers will tell their hitters when they're up there, and third base coaches, just with a signal, any way you can. And that's what Castro's looking for. He goes from the swing to try and get it over there to maybe the bunt. It's all about what you feel comfortable doing against a guy as great as Clayton Kershaw.
Runner took off on a ball that's fouled off. And we'll do the 1-2 again. Problem is, a lot of times you feel comfortable doing nothing against a guy as great as Clayton Kershaw is.
Well, they're showing they're going to play it conventionally, but they're also going to play aggressively on the base paths and take the risk of possibly stealing third with no outs.
That's just Eric Ibar. That's always been his game. When he sees an opportunity, he's going to try to take that extra base.
Not going this time. Good stop by Ellis. 2-2. AJ's first start since Kershaw's last start on Friday against San Francisco. That means 4 consecutive games started by Yasmani Grandal, and he has been really good in his time coming off of the disabled list where he began the season. Grandal, that is. Kershaw to Castro with a 2-2 pitch. And that's driven towards the left center field gap. Kike can't get there, and the Braves will tie the game in the blink of an eye against Kershaw with a double from Ibar. Castro to third, and they got him. So back-to-back doubles to begin it for the Braves against Kershaw, tying it, but Castro's thrown out trying to take third.
They're going to have a look at this, thinking that Castro might have gotten in there before the tag by Charlie Culberson, as the Dodgers did a good job relaying this ball. As we see Kershaw missing the spot up in the zone. He did that the same thing with Eric Ibar's double. But the Dodgers getting this ball in and making a good play. And what I was also impressed also at third base was Charlie Culberson. He was trying to deke him. Watch Charlie. He really doesn't move until the ball's coming at the last possible moment.
It's another bang bang, and they're going to challenge. Those are 2 of the hardest hit balls we've seen this year against Clayton. The first 2 batters of this game. And Eric Ibar, who is 2 for his last 31 coming in, and then Daniel Castro, who's played less than 50 games in his major league career. Taking a look at the video board.
Ball gets in a hurry. Kike made a great effort to try and catch the ball, then didn't give up and just say, oh, Jock, you get to it. He worked his way back to it in a hurry. And it gives the Dodgers an opportunity to get this call.
That one's awfully close. We saw one like this yesterday when they reviewed it, and it was really close. and they ended up just calling it as play stands, which means there wasn't enough to determine one way or the other, so they left the call on the field. And oftentimes, we talked about it yesterday, that when they take a long time to review it, more often than not, that's the call that's determined, that it just stands.
Braves started this season by losing 9 in a row, one of 16 teams in Major League history to start 0-9. But then won 4 straight before losing that game late yesterday to the Dodgers. They're trying to become the first team in Major League history to lose 9 in a row to start the year and then win 5 in a row. The Dodgers with the extra innings win. Yet another blown lead for Freddie Gonzalez's team. Dodgers, meanwhile, 9-6. They've won 5 of 7. A 4-3 road trip to start the year, then a 4-2 homestand against Arizona and San Francisco. And this 6-game road trip, Atlanta and Colorado. He's out.
Over 3 minutes for the review, and kind of goes according to your plan, Nomar. When it takes a long time, not enough evidence to overturn it.
I think it's because they're really looking to see. They're fighting themselves over there to see, is there any evidence that just lets us know that we should call it the other way.
Freddie Freeman cracks it in the ground is second. Softly hit Chase Utley. First ball softly hit against Kershaw in this first inning for the first out.
We were talking about the infield, and this is a routine ball, right? And just we're going to go back and look at it. Just the last bounce of it. I mean, a routine ball comes up on Chase, and it wasn't even the smoothest. You know, we've been talking about the infield, but here's why. Because here it is. Now watch this last one. See how it even came up on Chase? It wasn't really just smooth and clean like what you anticipate taking ground balls your whole life in the big league level. Going, all right, yeah, this should just be a nice, easy ball routine and follow the hop.
Adonis Garcia, cleanout man, takes ball 1. Chase was so good defensively last night. Here's another bouncer backing Seager up into the outfield grass, and a strong arm throws over to get him and finish the inning. But back-to-back doubles against Kershaw begins Atlanta's afternoon and ties the game at 1. Castro back-to-back doubles off Kershaw to tie the game at 1, and we go to the second. Nomar Garcia-Parra, Oral Hershiser, and Alana Rizzo. Joe Davis in Atlanta. Final game of this 3-game series with each team taking one to begin the set. Braves taking the opener. Dodgers winning last night. And 6, 7, and 8 coming up for Los Angeles in the second inning. Here's Kike Hernandez playing his 5th game in left field today, which is the most on the roster through 16 games. That just shows you how many guys they've had on that spot. He's one of 5. They've had to make a start in left field. Surprisingly, with all the injury problems there from Ethier to Van Slyke and Crawford, left field has been the most productive position for the Dodgers as measured by OPS, which is slugging and on base percentage combined. It's been the most productive position on this roster. Those are the guys that have started a game in left. Hernandez pops one foul, and the count is 2-1. Whistlers 2-1 to Kike Hernandez. Swung on and missed. 2-2. Let's check in with Alana.
Guys, Carl Crawford had some transportation issues as he was trying to get to the Oklahoma City Dodgers to start his rehab assignment. He wasn't able to be in the lineup last night. He will play today, and for the he won't be activated today as he was supposed to be. He looks like he's going to be activated now on Monday instead of Sunday in Denver. So he's going to play today and throughout the rest of the weekend. He should be back with the team in Los Angeles at the beginning of next week.
Okay, yeah, so it looks like 2 games with Oklahoma City, the AAA affiliate, and 1 more with Rancho. So push back a day perhaps, but there was no guarantee that he was going to be activated Sunday anyways. Hernandez swings and misses for strike 3, already the 3rd K of the game for Whistler. 1 out in the 2nd.
Whistler's got the slider and the curveball, and the curveball gets to be more consistent. Young pitcher, he sometimes has a tendency to get under his slider.
So 1 gone for A.J. Ellis. Making his first at bat since Friday. Yeah, looking at strike 1. 4 hits and 23 at bats so far this season for the veteran catcher. There's a ball. It's 1-1. Down the right field line, but foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. How about that stab down the line? What a catch. Some of the best defense we've seen in this series. Well, he didn't have to deal with the bad bounces in that infield. Hard hit back up the middle. Diving stop by Castro, and he throws him out. Heck of a play by Daniel Castro. 2 gone.
Well, there were no bad bounces on this one. Going up the middle, and Castro laying out, showing off the athleticism, and from his knees throwing out A.J. Ellis. As an infielder, you're like happy that it might be the catcher hitting a ball like that, as we had a look at the Morongo slow-mo cam with that fine play.
Right after I make a silly comment about catch by the fan being some of the best defense, Castro lays out and makes a tremendous play. Take a base hit away from A.J. Ellis. Charlie Culberson, first start of the series for the Georgia native out of Rome, Georgia, not too far from here. Grew up coming to games in this ballpark. As a kid, got Chipper Jones' autograph. When he was a freshman in high school, got to meet Jeff Francoeur, who was a rookie at the time. And he falls behind Whistler 0-2. first year in a Dodger uniform. First start at third for him. Justin Turner getting the day off after 6 consecutive starts at the hot corner. There's a 1-2. Plays off. Count evens up.
So much flexibility and depth on this Dodger roster, but that's one thing. But then another thing is you got to get some production out of those guys. And we saw that with the graphic we showed with all the left fielders and what Charlie Culberson has done since he's been up here. A lot of pieces on the 40-man roster that can play at the big league level and be on the 25-man roster when given an opportunity. It does not seem like any of the guys that have been kind of considered the utility slash replacement slash you're there because somebody got hurt, the game does not seem fast to them. You know, they're very poised, just slip right in seamlessly.
Whistler trying to work a 1-2-3 second after the Dodgers got one in the first. And Culberson pops it high in the air to center. Alex Smith puts it away. So the Dodgers down in order in the second. On to the bottom half, tied at 1. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by the Dodge Challenger. Test drive one at your local Dodge dealer today. Light blue skies above on this beautiful Thursday afternoon in Atlanta. 1-1 to the bottom of the second. 5, 6, and 7 in the Atlanta order coming to the plate against Clayton Kershaw, who gave up a couple of hard-hit doubles to begin his afternoon. Tyler Flowers back in the lineup after A.J. Przinsky made the start against the right-handed pitcher last night. Flowers takes ball 1. He had 4 hits in the first game of this series. It knocked in 3 runs. Those are 4 of his 7 hits on the year and 3 of his 4 RBIs. 1-1.
He's shown he can really handle the outside pitches and use right field. Clayton Came in with the fastball in the first pitch to try and get it in there, and then again cutter slash slider. They will pound him in. We go again.
And he lines it into center for a base hit. He's been impressive this series.
Got in on him a little, but he was able to open up slightly and get the barrel to it. See AJ sitting inside.
See, to me, this is why I always talk about being able to go the other way, showing not only just because being successful hitting the other way, but once you show an opposing pitcher, an opposing team, such as Flowers, we were just talking about all the hits he went the other way. Now we're saying, well, we can't go the other way. He's proven he can get those hits, and now we got to come back in on it.
Jeff Francoeur with a solid single into center. That is 4 hard hit balls already for the Braves.
And the book on Clayton is to get on him early, because you do not want to get behind on him because he has so many different types of put away pitches. So you're going, okay, he's trying to get ahead, so attack the first pitch. We've seen a lot of teams do that to Clayton Kershaw, as Francoeur did there. And I was also talking about Flowers with that hit before, because once you prove that you go the other way, then you got to come in, and sometimes it's like, I can prove I'll go the other way so I can get you back in, and that's where I really want you. That's my sweet spot. And sometimes it's also harder for pitchers to get in there and make more mistakes over the middle of the plate.
Drew Stubbs takes a strike. 2 of the 4 hits so far for the Braves, guys, have had exit velocities over 100 miles per hour. The major league average is in the high 80s. And Clayton Kershaw is as good as anybody in the game at limiting that hard contact. A bit of a rarity in the opening 2 innings against him here. Strike 2 on Stubbs.
Clayton had only given up 10 hits in 22 innings coming into this game. It's got to be a rarity when he's giving up a couple hits each inning.
Stubbs has struck out a ton this year. Breaking ball slipped out of his hand, 1-2. 11 Ks and 18 at-bats in a Braves uniform for Stubbs. Kershaw's 1-2.
Left one curveball up and made a good adjustment right there and got that one down. He just hasn't got it to a place where he either drops it in for a strike or gets it looking like it's going to be a strike, and it's so tantalizing to the hitter that they have to offer at it, and then they swing and miss when it goes into the dirt.
2 on, nobody out, second inning. Kershaw home with a 2-2 to Stubbs. Bounced it in there. You know, you talked about it off of the top. We saw Clayton being interviewed after his last start. He just hasn't felt good with the off-speed stuff. Is that natural early in the season? And if it is, what do you do to find it?
He's just working on it, I'm sure. And sometimes it can be mechanical. Sometimes just your sights are off, your rhythm. But it's not a factor of being early in the season. We've seen him come out of camp with outstanding stuff.
Opposite field base hit for Stubbs. Station to station they go. Thompson will hit the cutoff man. 3 straight singles to start the second. They're loaded.
A couple of different things happening here with Clayton, because he's not throwing every one of his pitches out of the same window, and so that's what starts to fool hitters and get them to swing and miss and not be able to barrel it up. So with the erratic command right now of the fastball and the breaking stuff, when a ball comes out of his hand that's coming into the strike zone, the hitters are not fooled right now.
Oh, we've seen, to me, I've seen 3 hits so far, 3 of the 5. It's because when the pitch is up in the zone, like that pitch right there by Stubbs, and then you had Eric Ibar and Castro in the first inning hit high pitches out of the zone. See, when you see AJ's Ellis glove going up when he was looking for it lower, have to go up and try to reach for that ball to catch it. They hit it.
Alex Smith debuted in the big leagues early last week, facing Clayton Kershaw for the first time. Now this can be fun for the young left-handed hitter. 0-2. 5 for his first 30. Flowers, Francoeur, Stubbs, all the singles. Kershaw looking for his first strikeout of the day. And an 0-2 against Malik Smith. He gets it.
With the breaking stuff being erratic right here, he goes with a cut fastball at 93, walks him off the plate. I was wondering if they're going to go curveball or slider, which would be devastating right there, but not wanting to take the risk of a wild pitch in this bases loaded no out situation, gets the strikeout with the cutter.
And now it's Matt Whistler, who does have a hit this season. Braves pitcher with the bases loaded in a tie game in the second. Strike one.
Well, with the pitcher up now, are you looking for the punch out, or are you looking for a possible ground ball for double play?
Yeah, the double play is what you're first looking for, but now Clayton Kershaw 0-1 is looking for a couple swings and misses. Once you get ahead there, that first strike, that changes your whole philosophy on the bat.
Whistler punches one to second. Utley gets it out of his glove. Seager turns the double play. 4-6-3, and they turn it to keep it tied at 1.
We saw it yesterday. Utley playing unbelievable defense, and he's picking up the ace. Clayton Kershaw with a fine play. Way to finish it off, Seager.
Team MVPs after 15 games. Get an idea who might get some votes. That guy right there, Chase Utley. We look at our Carl's Cam replay, starting this double play to get Kershaw out of that jam.
I tell you, see right there, he had a little bit of trouble getting that ball out of the glove. I mean, it was hit so hard it gave him some time. But I know as an infielder, after you make a great play like that, and you know the importance, like here's the double play ball we're looking for, a little bit of panic sets in your mind because you're like, get it out of the glove. And he was able to get it in time to Corey Seager as they finish that off.
About second in this inning after Kershaw leads things off against Whistler. Clayton not quite himself on the mound so far. A run on 5 hits already, and needed that great defensive play to get out of what was a bases loaded, nobody out jam in the second.
The hard hit ball by Whistler was a lot about the equation of Clayton not feeling comfortable with his breaking stuff. So how come you're throwing the pitcher with a bases loaded 1-out situation, another fastball? Well, Didn't want to risk the wild pitch. Go with the heater. Whistler, a good athlete, almost made him pay.
Clayton one hit this year, came in his opening day start against San Diego on a slash play where he showed bunt, pulled it back, and rammed a single into left. 1-1.
Look at that defense, Nomar, that pinching over there in the 6 hole.
Huge bounce up into the sun, picked up by Garcia to throw him out.
You see Garcia trying to fight that sun with his throwing hand, putting it up there before as the ball came down.
They got enough guys in the area over there that could have either one of them play it.
I think they recognize Whistler and his fastball with that tailing fastball, and then thinking with the pitcher that they'll usually would be late on a fastball, so that's why they played him over there.
Yeah, but they weren't guarding the line at all. Like sometimes, you know, pitchers are late, then they're that late, they hit it right down the line. Whoa.
His hit chart this year has 1 hit in it. Went exactly where the shortstop had him positioned on the slash play we talked about in San Diego. Here's Utley. Took strike 3 called to start the afternoon against Whistler. 6-time All-Star takes strike 1.
You might have noticed how Utley took a little bit of time to get in the box coming up, and a lot of that's because you had your pitcher in front of you, hit a ground ball, run down to first. You got to give him time to get back off so he can get some rest back in the dugout.
An All-Star 5 consecutive years, 2006 through 2010, and then started dealing with those knee problems the year after. Totally revamp his workout regimen. Stopped taking a month-long break following the season after a couple years of the knee problems, and got right into the off-season workouts. Continued his lifting routine into the season. He's in the gym every day. That is how, at 37 years old, you have the kind of season he's having. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Well, on Sunday, May 1st, when the Dodgers take on the Padres, the first 15,000 kids get a replica Corey Seager jersey presented by Haichu. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. And here he is. Done an error in the first, stole second, and scored on Jock Peterson's bloop single. We talk about Chase Utley's work ethic and habits he's developed throughout his career. How nice is it for Corey Seager to have him as a double playmate, a guy that he's in the clubhouse with on a daily basis.
I always thought it was nice to have veterans around you as you're coming up as a rookie. I was very lucky to have some veterans on my team, both to my right and to my left. So my third baseman, my second baseman, Corey Seager definitely has that. Utley and Howie when he's at second base.
A roller past the mound is short. Ibar charges, throws on the move to get Seager, and that's 7 consecutive retired by Whistler since Peterson's RBI single in the first. Kershaw threw 2, but only 1 run. Tied at 1, bottom of the 3rd. And the second trip through the Braves order now with Eric Ibar, who hammered a double against Kershaw to begin the Braves afternoon offensively. And they came in to score on Castro's ensuing double. It's only Ibar's 3rd hit in his last 32 at bats. His first year here in Atlanta. Came over in the Andrelton Simmons deal. And waits on the first pitch of the 3rd from Kershaw, which is over the outside, black, strike 1.
Watch Clayton in between innings throw his warm-up pitches, and he only threw 1 breaking ball. He was really working hard to find his lanes with his fastball. I thought it was really smart with A.J. Ellis calling fastball away right here to Ibar right away, because that in the warm-ups was the pitch that he was most accurate with. They tried to go back-to-back with it there. You saw 1 good one, 1 bad one. Little cutter right there, hits the spot. Good count now to try and get a feel for the breaking ball if you're going to try and get it back where you're comfortable with it. Tried. You know, if you're bringing a pitch along, if you're going to add a pitch into your arsenal, you look for counts in the game to say bring it in. And if you have a pitch that is not working very well, you look for counts to practice it, to get it back. The 0-2 and the 1-2 counts are counts that you kind of have a little bit of a room to grow. You go back to the ace. Fastball low and away on the black.
His second K, 1 gone.
Now, there are oftentimes maybe a certain pitch that pitchers have, whether it's a fastball or some pitchers might be a slider or something with a curveball that actually gets, that they know that kind of gets their mechanics back to where they want to be.
Exactly. First time around the order, the right-handed hitters were sitting on that first pitch fastball in. A.J. Ellis and Clayton making an adjustment right here, second time around, working him more away. Now come back to his bread and butter, which is that fastball that he likes to bore in on right-handed hitters.
Daniel Castro drilled a double to score a run his first time. It's his 3rd run batted in the last 2 nights, and his 3rd since being called up from AAA last week. Kershaw's 1-1 pitch. Outside corner, 1-2.
We'll take that one. Borderline, those are ones that can start to get you into a rhythm.
There's that big curve towards the hole, cut off by Culberson, who was spending plenty of time taking ground balls down there at third base during batting practice yesterday. Up comes Freddie Freeman. Grounded out his first time. And Oral, the Dodgers over the last 3 series, I know you talk about in those scouting report meetings going into a series, you earmark a guy that you can't let beat you. The Dodgers have done a good job limiting the best hitter in the opposing lineup.
They really have. Not only the starters, but the bullpen. They come into some key situations against the heart of the order, and they've been doing the job of late. And the starters have been shutting down the big guns of the last 3 series.
Quickly ahead of Freeman, 0-2. Freeman struck out 4 times last night. It was the first 4 strikeout game for him since he faced Kershaw last May against the Dodgers in LA.
I think you dropped that one on us when we were having our scrambled eggs this morning.
Those were good, huh?
It was our best meal of the 3 days.
Agree.
At least at the ballpark.
For extra. Yeah.
Yeah, I went twice.
Bones still #1 for me in the meals on this trip.
Well, you guys can go twice back to the spread, but I can only go once. You guys work out
as many times as you want.
I just want to fit my clothes.
2-2 on Freeman.
I thought when you were mentioning Chase Utley's work ethic about being in the gym every day, you were going to say something like, yeah, I see him there.
Yeah. No, I'll let you say that. Freeman strikes out again. It's the third for Kershaw. Seems to have settled in. Working a 1-2-3 third in a 1-1 game. Fourth, and Alana takes us through today's Coors Light Cold Hard Facts.
All right, Joe, thanks very much. Jock Peterson due up second in the inning. And, of course, it's his 24th birthday today. Happy birthday, Jock Peterson. But he was certainly a Rookie of the Year candidate last year. The same could be said for Corey Seager this year, who turns 22 on Wednesday, the 27th. You can see their numbers there as far as this season is concerned. Very close friends, very close in age. The future of this franchise, certainly. And, by the way, they're roommates, and on Monday back in LA, they'll be at Target looking for blackout curtains. I understand they have a lot of windows and they want to be able to sleep in. Roommates do it all together. They play together, they go to Target together.
Yeah, and the blackout curtain's a must. You know, with schedules in baseball, you're up late, back from the ballpark, you got to be able to sleep in, right?
It's definitely a must, and I think oftentimes you forget back home that we say when the season starts, you go and you got to find a place. First, you know, especially in the minors, like you get there, you got to find your roommate. You got to go find an apartment. Well, it happens in the big leagues as well. These guys, you know, they're in spring training. You don't really know if you're going to make it out of spring or on the club. They tell you you're on the club. Now you got to go find a place. Hey, do you want to be roommates? So you get a couple of days. You find a place, and now you got to furnish it.
Adrian Gonzalez ahead of the count, 2-1.
So you look for those, as we were talking about earlier in the season, like some of those early off days were like, so there was one when they played Anaheim for the Freeway Series. And then they had like, it was nice to have that day just to kind of get acclimated to home and try to figure out where home is going to be for the next 6 months.
Three and one on Gonzalez. Struck out looking his first time. Couple of pitches that he didn't like. Caught strikes by Angel Hernandez.
Moving to LA, you don't only have a little culture shock, you get sticker shock.
Yeah, so I'm finding.
I know.
That's a solid single into center for Adrian to start this fourth. Housing market's a little bit different in Grand Rapids, Michigan than it is in Los Angeles.
Just a little.
A little bit, yeah. I hear the weather's a little different too, though.
It's a lot better.
Jock Peterson, all he's got to do to be like Nomar is hit 3 home runs to celebrate his birthday.
As Nomar would say, anybody can hit 3.
Come on now. Anyone can hit 3 once. Just kidding.
I like that swing.
He was trying to get number 1.
Was that a day game or a night game on your birthday? You hit 3 homers.
Day game doubleheader.
Was it really first or second?
It was the first one. It was the first game of the doubleheader. Really didn't do good the second one, so let's just focus on the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretend the second one never even happened. 0-1 to Jock Peterson. Lays off a back foot breaker, and the count goes to 1-1. He's got the lone RBI in this game for the Dodgers. Swung at the first pitch his first time up and blooped one to left that Drew Stubbs couldn't corral on a dive. He's got 2 RBIs in this series. Remember, he started the scoring last night as well with the Dodgers down 3-0 in the middle innings of that game. And that guy tied it. Adrian Gonzalez, 2-run homer. The 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and a strike.
Last year when Jock was making all the mechanical changes, it seemed like in the box he was lost and there was a lot of anxiousness mentally. Even though he's still making changes this year and going through adjustments, he seems a lot calmer in the box.
Well, there are a lot of times you can judge a hitter by whether they're confident or whether they're off a little bit, trying to find it on like check swings, or even when they're taking balls, like they might be, their whole body might be out in front, or they're just not in a good hitting position, even if that ball were happen to be a strike.
Gonzalez at first, nobody out. Good hitters count here for Jock Peterson. Fouls it off, 3-2.
Left-handed hitters really have a chance to get Whistler if he cannot show that he can throw that fastball inside for a strike. You see comfortable swings on balls from the middle to the outer half.
Teams are the first inning run. Starters have settled in since, but the Dodgers have the leadoff man on here in the 4th. And Peterson shoots one against the shift, ranging over his eye bar, and his throw's not going to get him. Jock Peterson with an infield single, and the first 2 have reached against Whistler here in the 4th.
Whistler made an outstanding pitch right here. He did come fastball in and jam Jock, and he did a great job trying to get inside this and force it over there to the left side. And with Jock's speed, playing center field and getting out of that box from the left-hand batter's box, pretty much easily beats that ball.
It was Garcia. Ibar had shifted over to the right side of the infield. A lot of times they do that. And the third baseman stay on his natural side. It was Garcia that came over and had a shot at it. Trace Thompson now with 2 on and nobody out in a tie game in the 4th. Line to right his first time. His second start in right field today. He started at all 3 outfield positions at least once so far this year. And one of the many key pieces for the Dodgers off of the bench. Looks at strike 2.
When I coached for Buck Showalter, talked about young players, and as they come up from AAA and they come into the big leagues, or young players, he says, I can wait on the bat, I can't wait on the glove. All our young players are really good defensively. The bat takes a little longer sometimes, and guys getting used to big league sliders or big league pitch sequences, or guys that they haven't seen because these guys have been in the big leagues for 10-15 years. These guys are just coming up through the minors, but you got to be able to defend so you can get your at-bats.
Gonzalez and Peterson starting this inning with singles. Now Trace Thompson lays off another breaking ball in the dirt. 2-2. Whistler got his first career save on Sunday. His third start of the year now. No decision against the Cardinals. Loss against the Nationals. And his second career start against the Dodgers now. He beat them last July. 2-2 to Trace Thompson. Young players that have been traded early on in their careers. Thompson, who was from the White Sox this offseason. For Whistler, it was from San Diego in the Craig Kimbrell deal. He was the #1 prospect in the Padres system at the time they dealt him. It took that kind of chip to acquire Kimbrell. They had for just one season.
Every year in the minors, Whistler would rise up the prospect list. You know, he started around 10 and then he went to 7 and then he moved all the way up to 2 and 1. Showed the growth and maturity that he was having to fill out that 6'3" frame, getting stronger, and the fastball got better.
Originally was a 7th round pick out of Bryan, Ohio, back in 2007. 7th pitch of the at bat for Trace Thompson. Fouls off another.
Trace doing a good job fighting off some tough pitches, staying alive in this at bat, and a couple of those pitches too. Even if he happened to put them in play, the way the swing path of the bat, he still would have been able to go to the right side. So even with 2 strikes, obviously you're thinking about protecting it, but there's still a job that can be done if he can possibly move the guy over to third base.
2 on, nobody out in the 4th, and Thompson fouls yet another. That's 4 consecutive pitches fouled off by Trace. Kike Hernandez will follow. Dodgers trying to break this 1-1 tie in the 4th. Thompson making Whistler work. Another addition to this 2-2. Breaking ball fouled back.
It's a battle, and it's a good at bat no matter what the result is for Trace Thompson. Sometimes you get finished off, and sometimes you have fought off so many pitches you finally get a really good mistake and you can lace it.
Tenth pitch to the Trace Thompson at bat in the 4th. And he strikes out swinging on a high fastball. But he makes Whistler's pitch count run above 65 with that 10 pitch AB. And Kike Hernandez now. Struck out himself his first time. It's 5 punch outs now for the right-hander. Hernandez, yet another young player who's been traded. He started his time Houston and Miami, and over to the Dodgers prior to last season in the D. Gordon trade. Waits on this 1-0 pitch. Popped up into right. Jeff Francour's got it. The Dodgers, after back-to-back singles to begin the inning, still have them anchored to first and second, and 2 retired for A.J. Ellis.
Dodgers unable so far to do the little things. We're talking about Trace Thompson, good at bat, but yet still initial job was to try to move the runners over to get that man over to third base with less than 2 outs. Was unable to do it. Now Kike obviously trying to knock him in. Now it's up for A.J. Ellis to pick those guys up right here and possibly get a nice 2-out RBI.
Hit it hard his first time, but a nice play at second. Daniel Castro retired him.
That Whistler, as a 23-year-old, really finding his way through this inning, going to gain a lot of confidence. He gets out of the jam.
So 25 pitches in this inning. Started with singles from Gonzalez and Peterson. He then struck out Thompson on a 10-pitch at bat. Got Hernandez to fly out to right. And now ball and a strike on A.J. Ellis. He'll take strike 2.
Stats are kind of showing us the way where the left-handed hitters get the hits. They have dominated Whistler, and now he's getting the righties out.
Now, you mentioned it earlier, Nomar, that Whistler's numbers throughout his short career, left-handers have hit about 90 points better than righties have. Fastball lifted in the air, left center field. Back on it goes Stubbs, shy of the track to make the play. Ellis just got under it, and the Dodgers waste a pair of singles to begin the frame. We stay tied at 1 in Atlanta. The first inning run, that's all. Bottom of the 4th coming up, and you can start your Dodger bobblehead collection Monday, April 25th. Dodgers and Marlins in the first game of the next homestand, and the first 40,000 fans get a Clayton Kershaw bobblehead. Presented by Security Benefit. Go to Dodgers.com/promotions for tickets. Well, some hard hit balls against Clayton in the first 2 innings, but it seemed like Orioles started to find his groove in the 3rd.
Fastball command is what he's going to try and build off of. Breaking balls are still inconsistent, but if he can locate to both sides of the plate and get it down by the knees. See that glove of A.J. Ellis trying to prompt him to get the ball down below the knees with the target, even though he's missing about 6-8 inches above that.
Adonis Garcia misses. He's 0 for 1 with the ground out to short. He's down in this count 0-2.
Used to love it when your catcher is attentive enough to steer you and to guide you by watching your miss patterns. So A.J. really concentrated on getting the ball down.
Leaping grab, Adrian Gonzalez, 1 away.
Kershaw hit a spot there, exactly where A.J. wanted it. Garcia did a good job getting to that ball and squaring that ball up.
But you can just tell that the Atlanta hitters are just checking out on the curveball and the slider right now, and they are just gearing for the heater on one side of the plate or the other.
So is this a day where you, if you're Clayton Kershaw, consider maybe working on that changeup that he started to sprinkle in, or no?
Not really, because he's in a 1-1 game and he's not going to go to developing that pitch right now. I don't know what that was.
Did it slip, or does he now have an ephus?
That's changing speeds.
Did that even register?
That's going to make every highlight film in baseball.
And now a strike to Flowers.
Maybe, you know, Clayton,
have we
maybe
ever seen that pitch from
No,
Clayton?
he might have thought, you know what, this guy's hitting everything. Fastball and fastball away, breaking balls from righties on the black. I'm just going to screw with him mentally, and then I'm going to go attack him just to get in his craw.
So he answered my question, do you work on the changeup? He says, no, I work on my ephus.
Right.
Toss that thing up there.
Well, a lot of times, too, is if you're having trouble with your breaking ball and all the hitters are looking for your fastball, they know that they're going back to the dugout. We're saying, listen, lay off the breaking ball. He can't get over a strike. Just look fastball where you're going up there. So you're going to look fastball, and then you're going to, if you're not confident in your changeup, now you're going to throw something else that's kind of straight or has a tendency to be straight, just less velocity. Really don't want to just do that right now while everybody's looking for one pitch.
It didn't even register on our speed gun, guys, but on the MLB app, 46 miles per hour. It's pretty good separation from that mid-90s fastball. Working on Flowers. And striking him out with a bouncer. Picked up by Ellis, throws down to Gonzalez. Fourth punch out of the game for Kershaw. And that is now 7 consecutive retired since the 3 straight singles loaded the bases against him in the second.
And you know what set that whole at bat up? Was that ephus.
It might have. You know, this was not Greg Maddox's original home, but his theory was the harder they hit it, the softer you need to throw it.
Jeff Francoeur shoots one into the opposite field gap for a base hit. His second of the day. And 2 multi-hit games in this series for Francoeur. Drew Stubbs singled his first time as well. This is the part of the order that loaded the bases against Kershaw in the second before he K'd Malik Smith and got Matt Whistler to ground into a jam escaping double play. Drew Stubbs looks at ball 1. 7th overall pick in the 06 draft in Kershaw against the 8th overall pick in the 06 draft, Drew Stubbs. Reds took Stubbs out of Texas. Dodgers took Kershaw out of high school in Texas. Kershaw's turned into one of the game's best with a team that drafted him. Stubbs has bounced around 5 different organizations. 2 balls and 1 strike. Debuted with the team that drafted him in the Reds, but never really caught fire there. Went to Cleveland for a short time, then was with the Rockies. Spent last year with the Rangers, and now in his first year in Atlanta. He waits on this 2-1 from Kershaw. Hard hit up the middle. Utley can't get this one. Base hit into center. Stubbs and Francoeur back-to-back 2-out singles. And the inning kept alive for Malik Smith.
It's a battle for Clayton right now. He knows he doesn't have all his weapons. But again, what we appreciate most about Clayton Kershaw, even when he isn't at his best, the team has a chance to win, and a lot of times they do.
Smith looked totally overmatched his first time up there, striking out on 3 pitches against Kershaw, and his first career AB against Kershaw. That one gets out of the glove of Ellis. The runners move up.
The Dodger corners were back because there's a runner in scoring position at second, but now because of this, I don't know if they call it a pass ball, they move up now, and they're going to have to guard against the bunt with Mallex Smith. They're going to have to pinch in. So you go from guarding against 1 run on second to having a riskier defense that could give up 2 runs because of the speed of Smith.
Second and third, 2 out. The tie game in the 4th, and Smith fouls it back. He's behind Kershaw and in a load of trouble here, 0-2.
Norrell, it's not just the corners that come in, but the middle infielders will come in, because there was a force out at third, second, first, everywhere, every base except for home. You hear that when you're in Little League, and you hear that when first and second. But with Mallex, now that with that speed, because it's only at first base, the middle infielders come in a few steps.
Went back to the well. That's how he punched him out in the last at bat, with the cutter away. Again, there was runners on third when he faced it, and he didn't want to risk the breaking ball. Probably the same feeling right here.
Went to it here and had him swinging out of his shoes. 5th punch out of the game for Kershaw, and again he gets out of a jam to keep it tied at 1. Carl's Jr., the Midnight Moonshine Burger with moonshine glaze and garlic pepper onion straws, only at Carl's Jr. Tied at 1, 5th inning in Atlanta. Matt Whistler gave up that lone run in the 1st inning, and a Jock Peterson 2-out bloop single. Scoring Corey Seager, who had reached on an error. Stolen second. 23-year-old goes to work against 8, 9, and 1 in the Los Angeles order. Charlie Culberson leads it off. Fly to center his first time. Five Ks, no walks. 3 hits for the Dodgers against Whistler through 4. And Culberson goes after the first one, sending it in the air to right center for Smith. Whistler, one of the young pieces of this Braves rebuild. They've lost back-to-back losing seasons for the first time since they had 7 consecutive losing seasons from 1984 through 1990. Of course, followed that up by winning 14 division titles in 15 years from 91 through 05. Bobby Cox taking over. Ball on a strike on Kershaw. Dominance in the division through the 90s, although just the 1 World Series title in '95, despite making 5 appearances in the World Series in the 90s. Kershaw pulls it to second. Castro throws him out. Braves haven't been to the postseason since 2013 when the Dodgers knocked them out in the NLDS. They haven't won a postseason series here in Atlanta since 2001. That's hard to believe.
It is hard to believe with all the dominance, and then just kind of lost it here for a while. And John Sherholtz kind of stepped aside and gave the reins to John Hart to rebuild the franchise.
He's had a tough time with Whistler so far. A pair of strikeouts. Takes ball 1. Well, he was playing against the Braves 19 times a year during some of those great years for the Braves in the 2000s. Utley was with the Phillies. Pretty darn good years there too. In fact, there was a stretch there. The Phillies kind of overtook the Braves as a dominant team in the East. Here's a 2-0. Outside, 3 balls, no strikes. Let's check in with Alana.
Call on Chase Utley. Dave Roberts was saying, that's right, I like it. When Kike Hernandez was up in his last at bat, he was saying, take that slider into the right field seats. Dave Roberts is incredibly engaged in every single pitch, constantly talking to his guys as they are in the hole, getting ready to get out of the dugout to the on-deck circle while the guys are in the box, constantly communicating, constantly cheerleading, very involved in everything that's going on, and very vocal.
Saw somebody describe him during spring training, Alana, as a shot of espresso for Dodger camp. On a morning like this with a quick turnaround after the extra innings game last night, you can use a shot of espresso.
Sometimes 2.
Double shot.
Well, Dave knows from being a player that day games after night games, sometimes your team can kind of wade through them and just feel like you're going through the motions.
Snared by Freeman at first, and from his seat feeds Whistler to get Utley. A bit of his own medicine right there. Chase has been so good defensively, taken away several hits in this series, and Freeman just did it to him. So we stay tied at 1 halfway home in this rubber match in Atlanta. Well, the scoreboard says this is a bit of a pitcher's duel, but Clayton Kershaw has not been quite as sharp as normal, at least early on in this game. He delivers ball 1 to Matt Whistler. He has struck out 5 today, but the Braves with 7 hits against him. A lot of solid contact. That included Whistler's first trip up there when he hit it hard into a double play. Double play helped Kershaw get out of a bases loaded jam in the second. He stranded runners at second and third in the fourth. Breaking ball pulled towards the hole and cut off by an aggressive Culberson. Well, Dodger fans, you can get the best seats at the best price with an 11-game pick'em plan. You can guarantee your seats to Vin Scully's final season. Lock in all of his great giveaways like the Vin Scully Avenue t-shirt, a Vin Scully bobblehead. You can add to your Clayton Kershaw bobblehead once you get that next Monday. And Vin Scully Appreciation Day as well this season. Dodgers.com/mini plans, the place to learn more. Back to the top for Eric Ibar. Foul tips the first one, strike one, and there he got that breaking pitch towards the back foot.
Yeah, a little slider right there for a first pitch. And he got a strike out of it with Ibar swinging from his shoes. That's only 11 out of 19 first pitch strikes for Clayton. There we go. Look, in some ways the first half of the game is kind of like Muhammad Ali, maybe Clayton giving him a little rope-a-dope, but now maybe coming off the ropes with a flurry as the slider first pitch and now the curveball for a strike. He's starting to find that feel.
Here's Utley off 2 bounces with a backhand, 2 gone. He has been fun to watch this week.
Utley again coming up with a tremendous play, sliding on that leg and making that play look easy, because we've seen it happen a few times in this series. And that's not an easy play as you're sliding, staying with the ball.
He really understands his tools. He's never really had the strongest of arms, but he knows he has to be quick on his exchange and quick with his feet to make up for the arm strength.
You know, there was one in the last inning that kind of got up the middle that he missed. Same kind of, he slid, but I wonder, it was the umpire was up in the infield as he was supposed to, because there was a man on first and he missed it. And sometimes that might have caused him from missing it, because he's making that play look great today.
And to think that the general consensus was when he signed the extra contract, the 1-year deal, why? Well, we've seen why. It's gone beyond him just being needed depth with the injuries. He has been vital to this Dodgers team through the first 15 games. 2-1 to Daniel Castro. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That breaking stuff starting to get refined here.
Sometimes the edge takes off and the adrenaline is gone from your body and the over trying, because now all of a sudden your pitch count gets up and you're looking just to get some rhythm, and that rhythm might bring some execution.
And he strikes out Castro. 1-2-3 5th inning as Kershaw gets his 6th punch out of the game. We stay tied at 1. On to the 6th. 1 game apiece in the series. 1 run apiece in the game. Matt Whistler to face Seager, Gonzalez, Peterson. Whistler's been good today. 3 hits, all singles. Lone run came in the first and a bloop base hit from Jock Peterson. Corey Seager is 0 for 2, hitless in the series. Yeah, grounds it promptly to Castro for the first out. Gonzalez had the big swing last night in this inning. The Dodgers were down 3-1 and he crushed a 2-run homer to tie it. Dodgers would win it in extras. Here he is again in the 6th with the game tied this time. Here's an 0-1. Then in 2 on Gonzalez. Well, we're seeing an article, guys, from Doug Padilla, the great ESPN.com Dodgers writer, that the Braves perhaps are considering contacting the players union regarding the field conditions here at Turner Field. That's something that we've talked about at length during this series. We've seen more errors than usual. Omar, you've noted the bad bounces on the surface, and Doug Padilla citing a source that thinks that part of the reason we're seeing this is they've kind of just thrown in the towel since this is the final year in this park. They're moving on to a new stadium. They don't think the field is getting the right amount of care as a result.
We've been talking about the bounces, what I've seen, and also just seeing some of the infielders in this series that are just really smooth and make things look very easy, not look too sure of themselves.
Gonzalez with a base hit to right center. Smith over to cut it off, hold him to a single.
And Adrian just hit one over the head of one of those infielders I was talking about, and Ibar. He's one of those guys that usually just looks really smooth out there in the infield, and he has been. We've seen a few ground balls hit to him, just kind of unsure of himself and might maybe off a step a little bit.
And a lot of that's been a popular topic in that Dodger clubhouse.
No question about it. Even Chase Utley after the game was saying the same thing, and you guys talked about the numerous amount of times that Chase has played on this field. He said it's even trickier this year. I asked Yasmani Grandal if the guys were talking about the condition of the infield, and after a slight hesitation and a smirk, he said absolutely we were talking about it. He said the area behind the plate was incredibly soft, and then he said, you know, the guys here, as far as the Braves are concerned, are used to playing at this park, but the opposing teams aren't, and it certainly was a bit of an issue for these guys. They're certainly not making excuses for the errors, but this is a tough infield to play on.
Alana, that's such a great point, because it's not just so much about the errors and you're making excuses, but it's also that you're concerned about it, you're thinking about it, you're worried about your positioning on the field, going, okay, there might be a divot. Well, do I maybe play in a step or two or a step back just to avoid that divot? Because if the ball's hitting there, I'm going to be in trouble. And I think it's also good when you mention just that article that it's not the opposing team is playing, it's actually the home team that's complaining about it or talking about it, that there are some issues.
If you look out at infielders usually in between pitches, they're doing a lot of gardening and manicuring. These guys are not doing it at all. They're almost like a hopeless feeling.
Yeah, like why waste my time?
I really can't help this field.
This will be a football field starting next year. Georgia State University has purchased Turner Field. We'll turn it into their football complex. Now then in 2 on Jock Peterson, who has singled both times today. A bloop base hit to left and an infield single. And pulls that one just foul.
This stadium will go through a lot of transitions. It was originally built for baseball as a baseball field, then turned into the Centennial Park for the Olympic Stadium, and then reconverted back into a baseball field, and then it's going to turn into a football field. All right.
Yeah.
Kind of covers a lot.
Gonzalez at first with one gone. And Jock down swinging. Whistler's 6th K. Brings up Trace Thompson in a tie game, in a tied series, and in an all-time series in Atlanta since the Braves relocated here. That is 164 to 163. The Dodgers last night with the extra innings win, taking a 1-game advantage. The all-time series since the Braves moved to Atlanta from Milwaukee. There's ball 1 to Thompson. There's also a tie sprinkled in there. Back in the early 1970s, Dick Dietz was playing for the Braves, tied the game in the late innings with an RBI single, and then the rain came, and it was ruled officially a tie. Of course, Dietz is best known in Dodger history for the Don Drysdale scoreless inning streak, being the guy that was at the plate with the bases loaded. He was a few innings away from getting to the record, and Dietz got hit by a pitch, but the umpire, Harry Wendelstadt, ruled that he had stuck his elbow over the plate, that he had to come back, wound up popping out. Drysdale got out of that inning, and the rest is history. 2-1 on Thompson, and so is that scoreless inning streak as the record, isn't it, Oral Hershiser?
Your story there reminded me of, at the end of my streak, near the end, Brett Butler slid out of the baseline, and Paul Runge called the automatic double play for going after the middle infielder, which saved a run that continued my streak. And as that call was being made, I ran off Candlestick Park mound yelling, "Dick Dietz revisited, Dick Dietz revisited." And nobody on my team, other than Tommy Lasorda, my manager, understood what I was saying.
And did he give it a good laugh?
Oh yeah, he looked at me, he came over and hit me on the rear end. He said, "Way to go, Bulldog."
And then, of course, the great finish to your story to break the record is because Andy Hawkins matched you frame for frame to get you an extra frame on your final start of the season. A 10-inning game to set the record.
I didn't want to go back out. I wanted 2 Dodgers at the top for a tie, and Tommy said, "Nope, you're going back out." And Don was a broadcaster with us. And at the end of my warm-ups, I looked up into the broadcast booth to salute him and say, "Here I go, big guy," and I couldn't find him, because they had sent him down to the dugout to do the first Dodger post-game interview during the game. So he was sitting in the dugout for the final inning. So I couldn't find him to salute him, but he still has the record for most consecutive shutouts, because the game continued after I went 10, and I didn't get credit for a shutout because I just pitched 10 innings in the game. It wasn't over.
Wow.
We lost, I think it was in the 12th inning, 1-0.
So just 10 innings?
As Nomar likes to say, anybody can do that.
Right. Anybody can go 10.
Anyone can go 10.
Anybody can go 59 straight.
Wow.
Well, no, I was well rested. It was the last inning of the regular season for me.
Right. and then how many scoreless did you go in the postseason?
Another 8 or so, I think.
That's incredible.
You know.
Oh, pretty good little run.
I think God came down and inhabited my body and wanted to pitch for a while.
Trace Thompson has had a couple of fantastic at-bats today. The first one that was a 10-pitch AB finished with a strikeout. This one finishes with a walk. And how about this? 98 pitches into the outing for Whistler. It's Roger McDowell that comes out instead of Freddie Gonzalez. So it looks like they will let Whistler try and finish off this inning with Kike Hernandez coming up.
High stress innings, high leverage innings. Roger McDowell just coming out there and kind of telling the kid, probably, "Look, you got this guy, but I want you to empty the tank." And in the midst of that message, he's giving the guy a chance to get a blow and have the guy in the bullpen get ready.
So Kike Hernandez with a chance here in the 6th inning to break a 1-1 tie. Gonzalez with a 1-out single. Thompson with a 2-out walk. First of the day, by the way, issued by Whistler. And now Hernandez. Swinging and missing, and he has multiple times against that breaking ball of Whistler today. Part of the reason they left Whistler in is Hernandez does not seem to see him very well through 2 ABs. Nothing in 2.
This Braves staff in a rebuilding mode, but we've seen some of the young arms that they're going to count on. Williams Perez, who they sent to the minor leagues, had a big arm and a lot of movement, could spin the ball. And Ryan Weber, we saw out of relief, looks like he could be a guy that could be a setup man someday. Julio Teheran is going to be the guy that they say could be the ace.
Hernandez hits a fly ball to left center field. Long run for Smith, still going and making the catch with that track speed to keep it tied at 1. Hernandez frustrated as Smith runs it down. We go to the bottom of the 6th, still tied. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop online at choosenissan.com. Clayton Kershaw on a day where the Braves have managed 7 hits against him has still found a way to limit him to just 1 run. Tie game, bottom of the 6th. And he'll face 3, 4, and 5 in the order. Freddie Freeman was 1 for 11 in this series to lead it off. And it is the 3rd consecutive series Dodgers pitchers have limited the big bat in the opposing lineup. Buster Posey was shut down against San Francisco, 1 for 12 in the last series prior to this one. Paul Goldschmidt was 1 for 12 prior to that. It's 2-0 on Freeman. Struck out his last time against Kershaw. 1 of 6 today for the big left-hander from Texas, who brings it 2-0. There's strike 1. 2-2. You guys noted after the back-to-back hard doubles to start the day against Kershaw, a lot of times this is where he bears down and still finds a way. And on a day where the Dodgers need him to, because of what comes up next at Coors Field, because of the bullpen usage in this series, he has bared down.
Still not quite as sharp, but
no,
that's what's great. You know, great pitchers. You know, all pitchers aren't going to go out there every single day and have all their great stuff working. The great ones find ways when they don't have it all and still manage to look dominant. right now, Kershaw giving his team a chance. The offense unable to really pick him up and give him the lead, so he doesn't have to be so perfect. But that's also credit to Matt Whistler. He's done a good job in this game as well.
Freeman drives a base hit into right center. So a leadoff single for Freddie Freeman in the 6th. And again, a man reaches against Kershaw. You guys were talking about his ability to, once people get on, get out of it. Statistically speaking, he's been the best starting pitcher in the game among active pitchers at stranding runners. So they track that. It's called strand rate. And among active pitchers, he's the very best at stranding base runners. Close to 80% of the time the man reaches, he is left on base. Garcia takes ball 1. Cole Hamels number 2 on that list. It's one of those categories you look at, and it's typically an earmark of a dominant pitcher that has bottom line good numbers. It's a guy that's able to get out of those situations.
I actually appreciate Clayton Kershaw more on days like today than I do when he's dominant and throwing a no-hitter or this, because this is so hard to compete at the highest level and not have your best stuff and to be really lost in some ways. Because think how good he feels on the days where he's hitting both corners and the slider and the curveball are working and the hitters are lost and he's just mowing people down. The adrenaline, the fun, the rhythm that he has. But then to know that's possible and I'm capable of it, but he can't find it, and he still finds ways to dominate and win. And that's when you appreciate his character.
Other names on that list of guys that are good on days where there's a lot of traffic. Johnny Cueto is in the top 5. Madison Bumgarner is in the top 5 in strand rate. Breaking ball in the dirt. Ellis picks it up, throws down late. Freeman is in there, but came off of the bag, and Utley tagged him out.
Chase Utley shows up again in the results of these ball games with just that extra effort and detail. He's a guy that never gives up.
Well, now with instant replay, you constantly keep the glove on the runner as best you can.
Oh, man.
No, I don't know. Actually, I think he didn't. He said Chase's foot, I bet you, is what it is. Chase's foot. Watch his foot. When Freeman slides in there, he's not on it. So the umpire, the front foot of Freeman gets on there. But once that front foot gets off,
the back
Chase
leg's
tags
not
him.
there.
Yeah, I think the back leg won't be on the bag with Chase's foot right there. See that foot right there? So that's there. He's safe. Now watch. Now the back glove comes on before any other part of his body's touched in the base. And that's what they called.
You know what, though? I think had they still had a challenge to use, they might have changed that. Here's a little bloop shot from Garcia that'll sink in. A base hit, bouncing by Thompson. Garcia charging for second, and the throw is late. This time he stays on the bag. It's a base hit for Garcia, and the go-ahead run is in scoring position. So how big does that call look now?
It's huge. Trace Thompson not used to being out there in right field. Chase Utley.
It's interesting right now. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up, but right now you have Adrian Gonzalez going in there, and they're going to wait for something because Adrian Gonzalez noticed something. I don't know if he noticed that he might have missed first base or not, but he's asking the dugout to look at something. As Trace over there comes after this ball, and obviously you looked at Trace's initial. He stepped on the base, he got it, so I don't know what Adrian was.
They're going to appeal anyway.
Already called time. Nope, it's not. That doesn't count as an appeal because AJ Ellis had apparently a called time before. So you have to wait till the game's in play, starts, and then you have to step off. But you can't do it while timeout has been called.
And you've got to be careful doing it here.
Yeah, and now they're not.
Over to first.
Now they're not even going to do it. Because the one thing too, even when you appeal, the ball is live, so the runners can take off.
Tyler Flowers with the go-ahead run in scoring position takes strike one. Nine hits for the Braves against Kershaw today. Nothing in two.
Flowers showed he could handle the balls away in prior games, and then today he handled an inside fastball to Kershaw, and then Clayton got him with a strikeout in the last at bat that included an ephus.
Breaking ball, bounce back of third. It's fair. Culberson, the longest throw you can have, throws him out. And still being in the infield. He's got a sneaky, strong arm.
That was a nice play by Culberson. Not an easy play, as you have to sit back for that big bounce to come to you, and then also see if it's going to be fair or foul, because it's right on the line.
It was a nice baseball clock by Charlie Culberson right there, knowing Flowers is running. So once he got that tough hop with that distance, he took his time to get his feet planted and momentum going to first.
And that's also awareness before the pitch is even made. Because you know, okay, I have some time because of the speed, rather than right off the bat that you think you have to just instinctively possibly charge that ball because you know it's going to be an in-between hop.
Jeff Rancourt, Kershaw trying to strand another runner. Rancourt fouls off the first one. During the winning streak for the Braves following the 0-9 start, this is where they excel. With 2 outs, men in scoring position. More than half of their runs during that stretch came with 2 gone. They've been one of the best in baseball with runners in scoring position on the year. Ellis sent it inside. Kershaw getting there and getting ahead 0-2. Rancourt has singled both times against Clayton. Got out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam in the second. Stranded runners at second and third in the fourth.
I'll tell you one thing that often gets overlooked, little things, but Garcia getting to third on that play by Culberson down the line and him going on the throw all the way to first base is key, because you have a pitcher up there who may be struggling with his breaking ball, but being at third possibly can minimize him using that pitch because he doesn't want to throw it in the dirt. So you might think, well, I'm at second base anyway, I'm still in scoring position, why risk it? But taking that extra base and getting there definitely changes the mindset of a pitcher when you're up at the plate with a man on third base going, okay, I want to get out of this, but I don't want to just give him a free run.
Ellis calling for a fastball away on 2-2. Out of another jam. Cut it over the outside corner to strand a man at third. And on a day where Clayton has not had his best stuff, like usual, he has found a way. His 7th strikeout after 6, tied at 1. You guys ready for lunch yet? You still full from breakfast? What do you got there, Oral? Shaking up some kind of...
Got a little mineral vitamin shake I'm working on with my bottle of water.
Okay, very good. Kershaw out of another jam. 1-1 game as we go to the 7th. Bottom third of the Dodger order. A.J. Ellis taking ball one from Whistler, who's back out there at 101 pitches.
At 23 years old, you don't see that very often.
Especially when he pitched on Sunday, getting a save. He was supposed to start this series with a Tuesday night start, but they needed him. Desperation mode in Miami on Sunday to pitch in relief. 2-1 on Ellis.
They're also probably factoring in they had 8 pitchers throw yesterday. They use a lot of guys over there in the bullpen. They're thinking, okay, tight game. If I'm going to need those guys, it goes into extras. If I can get an extra inning out of him and he's feeling okay, throw him out there.
All hands on deck for the Braves pitching staff right now.
Mets come in tomorrow. Technically, the Mets are already here. Flew in last night. 3-2 on Ellis. Ryan O'Flaherty, who gave up the game-tying home run to Adrian Gonzalez last night. Warming here in the 7th. Here's a payoff. Ellis pulls it on the ground to third, and an in-between bounce gets by Garcia. Leadoff man aboard in a tie game in the 7th. Did an error on Garcia. Second of the day.
Well, in the first there, the Dodgers were able to take advantage of it and ended up scoring in that first inning when Garcia had an error over there at third base. Now it's the leadoff runner getting in it, with the leadoff runner getting on base, and see if the Dodgers can find a way to get him across home plate.
And you're going to potentially look at a tough decision here, or is it not a tough decision if you get a runner at second and Kershaw's spot coming up in a tie game?
It could be a little bit of a tough decision.
It's Clayton coming out. The on deck circle, bouncing ball to third. Garcia's got this one cleanly, and never mind. A double play wipes him clean.
Clayton was coming out no matter what the situation, and the ace has earned the respect of everyone in baseball, that if he says he's still okay, the value of his possible 0 for the next inning is higher value than pinch hitting for him.
And you're still going to have the top of the order coming up again. With a chance to break this tie. Matt Whistler, who in his major league debut last year threw 8 innings against the Mets. Here he's trying to go 7 against the Dodgers. So 1 to his counterpart. Kershaw is outside corner, strike 2. He was the first Brave since John Smoltz to go 8 innings in his debut and hold the opponent to a run or less. Kershaw hits a fly ball to right center field. Francoeur coming over, colliding with Smith, and Kershaw will move into second. You hope everybody's okay out there on a bad collision.
Well, that speed of Malik Smith. You got Francoeur. He was out there, and he had his arm up like he had a bead on it, and like he knew he saw it all the way. And sometimes you can have 2 people calling it at one time and you don't hear each other, but Francoeur looked like he had it right. Watch the arm go up. I got it. He has that. And then Malik Smith just coming out with that speed, running right into him.
So he pulled up at the last moment. Both of them did, thankfully.
And Frenchie looked like he got a shoulder to the jaw.
Good to see them both okay. Braves have dealt with enough in the way of injuries and such this year. Chase Utley in a tie game in the 7th with a go-ahead run at second base. And 2 out. 112th pitch for Matt Whistler. Ball one.
And the impact that Chase Utley has had for the Dodgers in this series, no better man to have up there right now with the key 2-out RBI situation.
They've changed the ruling on that ball from a double for Kershaw to an E8. The 1-0.
Give that call 24 hours to maybe be readjusted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one will be discussed down in the locker room. The official scorers will sometimes take a walk after the game, and it can be reviewed also in New York. I did my scorebook in pen. I'm not changing it.
So you'll be part of that call?
Yeah, I'm just giving the hit to Clayton for battling all day and getting it in play.
3-0 on Utley with Seager due next. And with the way that Utley's been playing and with the relative struggles lately for Seager, Whistler okay pitching around Utley some with first base open.
High pop up on the infield and 3 infielders come in and they can't figure out who's going to catch it, and they all let it drop between them. Base hit. No error.
Yeah.
So now that they collide, we're going to call it an error.
Right. 4-pitch walk to Utley. Seager will have a chance. He'd have to assume it'll be against the bullpen, and it will. Here comes Freddie Gonzalez. And Eric O'Flaherty, who gave up the lead last night on the second pitch that he threw to Adrian Gonzalez, is going to come in here with a go-ahead run at second base. 116 pitches later, Matt Whistler pulled from the game, tied at 1. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Children's Hospital Los Angeles. We treat kids better. And by BMW. See a Southern California BMW Center today for exceptional offers, or visit SoCalBMW.com. Freddie Gonzalez trying to give Eric O'Flaherty a chance to redeem himself after he gave up the 2-run home run to Adrian Gonzalez last night. 2 on and 2 out in a tie game in the 7th, and he gets Corey Seager. It was 0 for 3 today and 0 for 11 in this series. We'll be able to forget about all that if he can come through here. Ball 1.
So far this season, lefties are 3 for 9 versus O'Flaherty. So they've had some success off him. And like you said, Freddie Gonzalez throwing him out there so he can get his confidence.
He's fallen behind Seager 2-0. Whistler responsible for the runners at first and second. See if Seager gets one to drive. Lines it, base hit into right. Kershaw hits third and comes home. Francoeur's throw to the plate, bouncing in the slide. He is out.
They're going to go review that one. They're going to review that one. Because it looked like Kershaw might have gotten his foot in front at home plate. And I see Kershaw just kind of walking off. I hope it's just because he's fatigued, walking slowly to the dugout.
Yeah, the key's going to be, it looked like his foot was getting in there, but was it down on the plate or was it just above the plate? 2 out, you're going on the swing at second base. Francoeur has a great arm, pretty accurate, throws it into the left-hand batter's box. Adrian Gonzalez wants it looked at right away. Clayton wants it looked at right away.
Like that heel kind of dug as it went in.
Yep. We've seen this at home plate with close calls where it looks like the runner beats the throw, but tagging the plate is the key.
Right. And I've always said it's just so different at home plate because, you know, the home plate is low. It's to the ground. It's not up like a base. So your foot, when you're sliding into second or to third base, your foot is up and the base will kind of pop you up and stop you. But here at home, you don't have that because of safety reasons. You can't have home plate up. So it's one of those where you're going, but I also can't put my foot down because then there's a fear that your spike will catch and you'll twist your ankle and hurt yourself on the slide because you're always taught to slide with your foot up when you're sliding into second base for that reason, so you don't hurt yourself. And now all of a sudden you got to change that type of sliding into home. So it's a very difficult thing. And you know, but I mean, obviously you do have the touch to plate. That's the rule. But that's a lot of the reasons why you see plays like this. And now with instant replay, they can really watch and say, well, his foot was never on the bag or never touched the plate.
And I think if the spike doesn't dig in the ground, he's pretty clearly going to be safe. But because it does dig into the ground, I'm not sure there's enough there to overturn it.
Right.
Either way, Clayton's on the bench resting because he's safe. The inning continues, and if he's out, he's got to get ready to get back out there.
Like what do we say usually when they're taking this long or taking long to play stands? What was called on the field. The only two out there are really just O'Flaherty and Flowers, pitcher and a catcher. Everybody else in the Braves defense is off the field or on the side over there by the dugout. I don't see them overturning this, although they probably really are looking at it because it's a critical moment in the game and obviously it's a run.
Seems like any time it's been kind of a coin flip, it has gone the Dodgers this way this year, though. They've been charmed in these replays.
That's a tough call. It really is. Does he get that foot in there? Is that toe in there before the tag hits that back leg? Because I didn't think the tag hit his front leg.
They have a lot of angles to look at because they've got multiple broadcasts today.
So Corey Seager with a single. Will an RBI be attached to it to put the Dodgers in front in the 7th, or will we go to the bottom half still tied at 1? The review has now gone 4 minutes. The longer it goes, the longer Clayton Kershaw gets to catch his breath either way. Just in case Ryan O'Flaherty starts to loosen, or at least stay warm. Kershaw reached when Smith and Francoeur collided in right center on a fly ball that he sent up with 2 out. Utley walked. Seager with a base hit into right center. Francoeur, as it stands right now, with an outfield assist and this inning. But remains under review.
I'll tell you, this long.
It's got to stand at this point.
Well, right, usually very rare do they overturn it after this long, but we're about to find out.
Tell you what, the drama and the verdict. He's out. And we're still tied at 1. Stretch time at Turner. Back in a moment. One game to the bottom of the 7th in the series rubber match. Clayton Kershaw back to the bump for the bottom third of the Braves order. There's ball 1 to Drew Stubbs. So Kershaw thrown out at the plate on the 2-out single from Corey Seager. But then the ensuing review lasted about 4.5 minutes, granting him some time to catch his breath. Head back out there for his 7th inning of work. Ball and a strike on Stubbs.
It's a taxing inning for Clayton, but it wasn't on defense. It was on offense with his 2-out double ruled an error for now, and then the close play at the plate, running that 180 feet. He's gone 7, 8, and 7, and this being his 4th outing, trying to click off this 7th inning with a 0.
Stubbs checks on Seager, and an in-between bounce. He's got it for the first out. And follow the Dodgers live with the MLB.com @bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day live video highlights, StatCasts, news, and plenty more. Download it right now on your phone and tablet. Kershaw 7 punch-outs today. He's not walked anybody. He's limited the Braves to 1 run despite 9 hits. Alex Smith has struck out twice and behind 0-1. They wound up ruling an error on Smith on that ball that Kershaw hit last inning, where he came charging over and collided with Francoeur and right. Or you think that call might get changed in the next 24 hours?
As far as the lobbying from the pitchers fraternity, it would be hard because you'll have one pitcher saying that was an error, and you'll have the pitcher that hit it who wants the double saying it was definitely a hit. So
And the fact that he was possibly thrown out at home, so it wouldn't be an earned run, might also factor in saying, okay, it's a hit.
I think he was definitely a hit.
Chase Peterson hitting out of the 9 spot here. This is technically for Eric O'Flaherty, who replaced Matt Whistler last inning, after Smith goes down on strikes for the 3rd time tonight, or today. This morning in Los Angeles. Peterson pops one into center for Jock Peterson, who's got it. 7 innings for Kershaw on a day where he didn't have his best stuff. Continues to battle, keeping it tied. Season to Clayton Kershaw, allowed 9 hits. Even more surprising than the 9 hits is that he's allowed those 9 and been able to hold them to just 1 run despite the 9 base hits.
On a day when he really hasn't had his best stuff, look at the strikeouts at 8 and look at the walks at none. This is a guy who came into the game 2-0 with a 1.64 ERA, saying that his breaking stuff's not where he wants it yet, not consistent, and he still hasn't had that today. His ERA's down to 1.55.
Jim Jansen into the game, delivering ball 1 to Adrian Gonzalez.
Does he upset like fellow pitchers going, okay, even with you don't have your good stuff and you're not there, and look what you have done still.
Gonzalez starts the inning with a base hit to right center. His 3rd hit of the day. The leadoff man on for the Dodgers in a tie game in the 8th.
Clayton Kershaw is a top prospect for the next league above the MLB.
Right.
5A. He's a 5A player.
He's still developing for that next league.
Yeah. This is, depending on what happens from here on out in this start for him, twice in his career he's allowed 9 or more hits and limited the opposition to 1 or fewer runs. That's twice in 245 starts. So that shows you how rare it is. First of all, that he gives up that many hits. Second of all, that anybody that gives up that many hits is going to still hold the opposition to 0 or 1.
One of the most deceiving things about today is also the 99 pitches, 72 strikes.
Yeah, it was one of those things where you said that and we both started to double check. And
MLB, the app, has it at that, and so does ESPN. And I'm going to other sites, but it just seems like his command has been so off that his strike ball ratio would not be that high, but boy.
Well, his ephus was the ball.
There was
46 mile an hour. Took too much off.
Ball and a strike on Jock Peterson, 2 for 3 today on his 24th birthday. Waits on this 1-1. Hops out of the way of ball 2. Hitting cleanup for the first time in his career, which is a bit surprising with all the power he hit for last year.
Interesting, as Jock Peterson jumped out of away of that pitch, he's kind of hitting his quad. Like almost, I don't know if he may have felt something a little bit as he was trying to get out of the way.
Doesn't quite look right.
Like he was hitting his left quad. He kind of like stretched it a little bit. And just, I don't know. Something to keep an eye on.
He waits on a 2-2. Goes down swinging.
Here's what I'm talking about. There he's hitting his quad. It looks like he's kind of just messing with it a little bit, rubbing it. And the pitch right before he started doing that, he had to jump out of the way of the pitch.
Trace Thompson is 0 for 2. Tie game in the 8th, and Jim Jansen comes home with ball 1. Dodgers have had the leadoff man on now 3 times, trying to bring him in for the first time. Both runs in this game scored in the first. Peterson with an RBI single to score the Dodgers run. Thompson, big bouncer, left side, picked up by Garcia. They get just 1. So fielder's choice. Thompson reaches to bring Kike Hernandez to the plate with 2 gone.
Might see Trace Thompson use the same wheels that kept him out of the double play right here to try and swipe a bag. Down there talking with George Lombard right away as soon as he went by the first base bag. They're having a long conversation about Jim Johnson.
Remember last night in the 10th inning, guys, Chase Utley started with a single. As soon as he got to first, George Lombard told him, hey, Jason Grilli, slow to the plate. Take off if you want. And Utley did on the first pitch. That stopwatch timing him to the plate.
The surprise bag is sometimes the easiest bag. The hardest time to steal is when everybody in the ballpark knows that you probably want to take the risk of going.
Looks like Jansen knows that with a couple of pickoff throws. Ball 1 to Hernandez. 0 for 3 today. And his first start of this series. Playing time a little bit hard to come by on this trip. He makes the starts against left-handed pitching often, and there are no left-handed starters on this trip. Two home runs this year for him, both against Madison Bumgarner. Two and one. No action down in the Dodger bullpen, so Clayton Kershaw, who is 97 pitches into his outing, come out for the 8th and face the top of the Braves order. Ibar, Castro, Freeman.
Let's see if Trace is thinking about it here. He's seen his move over to first base a couple of times.
There he goes, and a foul back to the screen. Good call, Nomar.
You know, it's a base stealer. You know you want to get over there, get in scoring position, especially with 2 outs. Look at the lineup, the timing of it, and you've already seen a couple of his good moves. So now at least you know the key to possibly getting back, and you're still searching for that key to go, that trigger. But at least you know you can see it when he's giving you your best moves. You're trying to find what's the best timing and pitch.
And as you know, you've gotten the pitcher's best move over there. Don't you get a little more comfortable with the length of your lead because you know he's getting the best and an accurate throw, and you're still getting back safe?
And that helps as well.
Yep.
So does a full count. And 2 gone. Go ahead, run at first base here in the 8th inning. There goes Thompson. Hernandez takes ball 4. And Yasmani Grandal will pinch hit for A.J. Ellis with a potential go-ahead run in scoring position.
Yasmani on his rest days is a nice piece to have on the bench because he's a switch hitter, and here he'll hit left-handed against Jim Jansen.
He reached base 4 times last night, Oral.
Been very hot. Been real effective since coming back from the DL with that forearm strain.
And an RBI single to provide the insurance in the 10th inning of a 5-3 win last night. And the average at 400 over his first week of the regular season since coming off that DL stint.
A little more speed at second base for the Dodgers compared to the last time they tried to score on a 2-out single with Clayton Kershaw running at second. Corey Seager got the hit. A little better combination here with Trace Thompson and Yasmani Grandal at the plate.
Wouldn't this be a nice equation? Take the lead in the top of the 8th, Kershaw in the bottom of the 8th, maybe Jansen in the bottom of the 9th. That one bounces inside. Thompson will take third and put a little bit of added pressure on Jim Johnson.
This relates back to Nomar's point from the other inning of getting a guy to third base could prevent that curveball from being used as often now with the risk of the wild pitch or the passed ball with Thompson over there at the third base bag.
Tie game in the 8th inning. Dodgers at the corners with 2 out. And a 1-0 to Yasmani Grandal will come after time is called.
Pass ball, wild pitch, error, infield hit. A lot of ways to score from third.
On a 1-0. Ball 2. Culberson due next. If you're Johnson, are you recognizing that and being careful with Grandal here?
Yeah, I think so. Between how hot he is, the first baseman Freddie Freeman holding Kike on, so it's a little bigger hole over there at first. Bases loaded, 2 out. You'll get back to your full defense.
Wow. That's the opposite of framing.
That's the sinker that he used to have too when he was saving all those games in Baltimore.
2-1. That's outside, and it's 3-1 on Grandal.
Yasmani not looking for a walk here, but he is looking for a good strike to barrel up.
Thompson at third with 2 gone. And Grandal takes a strike.
A lot of hitters around the big leagues and pitchers will tell you that Angel Hernandez doesn't always have the most consistent strike zone.
Grandal trying to come up with a big hit. Inside, ball 4, and he passes the baton. The on deck circle And instead of Charlie Culberson, here comes Justin Turner with the bases loaded and a tie game in the 8th. One of the benefits of a day like this, where you have the different looking lineup that we talked about, giving guys like Turner and Grandal some rest from the start. Got those bullets to use in the late innings in situations such as this one.
Tell you what, Clayton Kershaw sure appreciates this, all the work that he's put in the battle today, and Dave Roberts kind of emptying his bench to try and get a run for the Dodgers and for his ace.
Kershaw has his batting helmet on. He's due next. Last night's hero, Justin Turner, had the game-winning RBI double in the 10th. He hits it in the air to right. It's sinking, but Francoeur gets there, and the inning is over. Dodgers leave them loaded. Still tied at 1 on to the bottom of the 8th. Pitching into the 8th inning for the first time this season.
99 pitches, 72 strikes, and usually the put-away pitch is the breaking stuff. Public enemy number 1 with the curveball or the slider, but as he got settled in and the strikeouts started to mount, 8 of them, it was the fastball command that really has bailed him out and helped him dominate today.
8 strikeouts, no walks, the 9 hits allowed, but just the 1 first inning run before he even recorded an out today. So all the outs that he's recorded have come since that 1 run scored. There's Justin Turner, stays in the game after pinch hitting and plays third, and Yasmani Grandal now catching Kershaw. Top of the order for the Braves, it's Eric Ibar, who is 1 for 3, scored the lone run, doubled to begin the day for the Braves down the left field line, and came in on Castro's double. Remember, Freddie Gonzalez has a couple of men on his bench that he can go to. Kelly Jansen, Nick Markakis, both available off of the bench today. Ninth strikeout of the day for Clayton Kershaw. 1 out in the 8th.
Here's the breaking ball. Starting to find it. That ball has that 12-6 break. We did a libero editing on Clayton Kershaw's curveball for the open of today's broadcast, and we showed it peaking out at 6 foot and breaking down to about a little over a foot. 5 feet of break when he throws that pitch correctly.
Daniel Castro, young infielder from Mexico. RBI double in the first inning. Strike, and it's 0-2. While he's still not been the best version of himself at any point today, Kershaw has gotten better and better as the game has gone on. Struck out Ibar, and he narrowly misses striking out Castro. It's 1-2.
We've seen 3 or 4 versions of Clayton Kershaw as he's developed over the 9 years in the big leagues, and this is a little bit more like the Clayton Kershaw 1.0, where he's effectively wild.
Got him with that big breaking ball, which he's dialed in as the day has gone on. Back-to-back Ks. He's in double figures in that category for the day now.
First time this year that he's gotten to double figures with strikeouts. He's had 9, 5, and 6. A guy who's used to striking out more than an innings pitch. Remember last year, a little over 232 innings, and he struck out 301.
Freddie Freeman takes a strike. It was the first 300 strikeout season since Randy Johnson in 2002. First Dodger to do it since Sandy Koufax did it 3 times.
And I'll tell you, from an offensive side, and when you're on defense, you obviously see what Clayton Kershaw is doing. You want to make every play, but you want to also give him this run when you're coming in. When he gets you in the dugout right here, you have to be fired up, especially when you look at what happened yesterday. You were fired up to try to win one for the bullpen for the tremendous job that they did. And now, watching Clayton Kershaw going out there today and battling with this performance, you want to get some runs for him. You want to get him the win so bad.
You see the reaction after that pitch right there, one that he is just struggling to throw everyone to perfection. Venting a little bit.
Careful here. He walked it. First free pass issued by Clayton Kershaw.
And that goes back to the scouting report we talked about, Oral, in the beginning of this series about Freddie Freeman. There's certain guys on every team that you look at and you said, okay, they can't beat you in critical situations. And once you fell behind Freddie Freeman and you put him in a hitter's count, and you know his numbers when he is in a hitter's count, that he is just dominant. And you're going, well, I'm not going to give in this close of a game. I already got 2 outs. I'll take my chances with Garcia.
It was 1 for 3. And he shoots a base hit into right field. Up to second goes Freeman. 2 on with 2 out. Tyler Flowers coming to the plate against Kershaw. Chris Hatcher starting to loosen in the Dodger bullpen.
Dave Roberts and Rick Honeycutt will do everything they can to let Clayton Kershaw finish this inning with a 0. If he would happen to give up a run, I think they would probably take him out. But the ace has earned whatever he wants right here in this inning.
As dominant as he has been over the years, this is the first time that he's ever started his season with 4 consecutive 7-inning-plus outings. Try to cap off an 8th. Try to keep it tight at 1. Flowers 1 for 3 today, batting here with 2 on and 2 out. Knocked in 3 of those 4 RBIs on the season and the opener in this series. An 8-1 Braves win Tuesday night before the Dodgers won it in extras last night. Strike 1. Strike two.
Where Clayton is so good at slowing the game down, taking care of every detail of preparation before he pulls the trigger on this pitch.
Back-to-back Ks to start the frame. A walk to Freeman, a single from Garcia, and a 1-2 to Flowers. Breaking ball, big bouncer to third, and Turner steps on the bag to finish off 8 innings of hard-fought pitching from Clayton Kershaw. On to the ninth, tied at 1. Can the offense have his back? Good Jerry getting that tie put on. A nice blue tie. Actually, I have like the same exact tie on he does today. Guys, I'll have you after the game with Access Sportsnet Dodgers, brought to you by Nissan. Alana Rizzo inside the clubhouse with reactions.
It's one of Jerry's few ties that's not a clip-on.
Here's Arodys Vizcaino. Came on in the 9th inning last night and was nasty, guys.
He is nasty. Comes at you with power with his fastball. It's not straight. A lot of movement. He's got off-speed pitch that has some bite to it as well. So it's one of those where you got to get up. You're like, I got to look fastball. And then when he just changes it and the bottom falls right out of you, find yourself swinging right over it. So he's definitely a challenge. But hopefully the Dodgers are up for the challenge this inning.
9-1-2. Howie Kendrick will pinch hit for Clayton Kershaw, officially ending the left-hander's day on the mound. 8 innings of 1-run ball. You get that, you expect to win, and the Dodgers will try and ensure that he does. The run here in the 9th against Vizcaino. Howie Kendrick grew up cheering for the Braves, not too far from here, outside of Jacksonville, Florida, in a tiny town. Fell in love with Hank Aaron's swing, watching some video of him. And quickly behind Vizcaino, 0-2. Utley and Seager to follow in this inning. For the Braves in the bottom half, they'll have 6, 7, and 8 due up. Fly ball on the right field line. Francoeur comes on into foul ground for the catch. So to the part of the order that got it done in the 10th inning last night. Utley started that 10th with a single, stole second, and came in to score on Justin Turner's double. 0 for 3 today with a walk. Clayton Kershaw is back there behind Bob Guerin. 8 innings, gave up 10 hits, but only 1 run. Matched those 10 hits with 10 Ks. Strike one. Not only do you want to help Clayton Kershaw out, but it's getaway day, and the Dodgers with another long trip when this one finishes, heading to Denver to take on the Rockies beginning tomorrow night. So they'd love to get a run sooner rather than later. Chase Utley pulls a liner down the right field side. That's a base hit into the corner, and it's bobbled by Francoeur. Utley saw it, but will throw on the brakes at second with the arm that Francoeur possesses, and the go-ahead run in scoring position with one gone in the ninth.
I mean, how about Chase Utley during this series? He has been unbelievable. Defense, saw what he meant to the team yesterday. It's also starting off late innings, getting on base, stealing the base, getting into scoring position, but also on this double right here. I mean, the way he runs the bases as well. This ball usually is at times where you actually do try to peek and use your third base coach, where because the ball is going to be behind you down there, but he's able to keep his head on the ball. I mean, he is his own base runner. He really recognizes, takes a peek right there. He's still looking at the ball, still looking at the base. So he doesn't even need the third base coach at this moment. He does it all himself, and he's very aware.
Utley, after his single in the 10th inning, took off and stole second on the first pitch last night. Vizcaíno stares at him as he delivers ball one to Seager. Seager had the base hit 2 innings ago. The runner at second and 2 outs, but Jeff Francoeur threw out Clayton Kershaw at the plate to keep it tight at 1. What does he do here in the ninth? Softly hit to second, down to a need to get it Castro. And it's up to Gonzalez. Three hits for him today. Dodgers have started to pile up those hits some. A run on 7 of them. Instead of Gonzalez, they're going to take their chances with Jock Peterson. Put Adrian on intentionally.
When I saw the lineup come out today, Adrian is labeled usually the guy that doesn't beat you like Freddie Freeman is for the Atlanta Braves. And when Jock was in the 4-hole, I thought to myself, there might be a situation today that Jock's going to have to pick us up.
Be a nice gift for him on his birthday. It'd also be a nice gift to Kershaw, deserving gift for what Kershaw did today.
Be like a party favor.
Yeah, just be good all around. Can I just say that? Is that a lot better?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, you said it the first time worked too.
Yeah.
Jock drives this run in. I'm thinking Clayton's taking him to dinner when we get to Colorado. I sure would if I was Clayton.
So Jocko is 2 for 4 today and has driven in the lone Dodger run with a bloop base hit way back in the first inning. Has a chance to set up Kenley Jansen in the bottom of the 9th. A chance to give the Dodgers a series win after dropping the series opener.
With the salaries today, if he drives them in, might have a Rolex with that dinner.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just thinking, have you noticed the theme? It's all dinners here. Now he drops a Rolex. He's changing it up. Wow.
I know you're not letting me pay for my dinners this year. How about my Rolex?
Yeah.
Are you going to give me one of those too?
Nice cufflinks.
Yeah, didn't pay for those. Thanks, Oral. All right, Jock Peterson. Off speed, ball 1. Utley's at third. He doubled with 1 out. An advance there on the ground out from Seager. Gonzalez at first after the intentional walk. They'd rather face Jock Peterson, who swings and misses, and it's 1-1.
Jock right there looked like he reverted back to an old habit and got a little too big.
This is where he has to learn. When we're talking about him shortening up, and he's been doing that. But when you have a guy like Vizcaíno on the mound, who has strikeout stuff. You got to give yourself 3 chances to just stay short on the ball.
1-2. Tie game in the 9th inning. Jock Peterson with runners at the corners and 2 out. A 1-2. Got it. If Vizcaíno gets out of the jam, Kershaw has to settle for a no decision. On to the bottom of the 9th, tied at 1. On to pitch the bottom of the 9th inning, still tied at 1. Replacing Clayton Kershaw, who goes 8 innings and allows just 1 run despite 10 hits while striking out 10. Hatcher has delivered 3 consecutive scoreless appearances. On to phase 6, 7, and 8 in the Atlanta order. How about the Dodgers bullpen last night? 6 1/3 shutout frames. They've now allowed just 1 run over the last 24 1/3. That all started last Wednesday when Dave Roberts gave Kenley Jansen the ball for the 5-out save and put an end to what had been a bit of a rocky stretch. But his bullpen has been locked down since then. Tries to get it into extras here. Jeff Francoeur is 2 for 3 today and bats here to lead off the 9th inning.
Those dry stretches in the bullpen, your bullpen coach, Josh Bard down there, and also Rick Honeycutt, your pitching coach, they become part psychologist. Sometimes it's not always physical.
And a first pitch fastball, went after it. Foul ground. Adrian Gonzalez on the tarp, leans in, and it's out of play. All kinds of movement in the outfield for the Dodgers, by the way. Howie Kendrick stays in after pinch hitting and is in left. Kike Hernandez flips over to right, and Trace Thompson slides to center. Mitch Jock Peterson is out of the game after making the last out last inning. And the pitcher's spot is now 4th in Dave Roberts' order. One and 2, flamed it by him at 95.
Chris Hatcher is patient with his mechanics and gets it out front. That nice downhill angle, that fastball right there. He's best when he can start at the knees and then end up at the shoulders when he goes up the ladder with that 95 to 97.
He's allowed 2 runs this year, both off of solo homers. And all sets outside. Went up with a fastball again. Got him to do exactly what he had planned. Chase Utley for the first out. It's actually Kelly Jansen that will pinch hit for Drew Stubbs. So we're seeing Freddie Gonzalez go to the bench like Dave Roberts did in the 9th inning. Some of the regulars getting most of the day off, but being used as late inning weapons here. Right-hander on left-hander. Started him off speed, missed low. Hitless in this series. The average not pretty overall this year. As he split the duties in left and part-time at second base as well. 2-0. Hatcher last night contributed to that 6 1/3 scoreless. Ready for a 2-0. Johnson pulls one down the first base line that Gonzalez snares with a backhand for out number 2. So sure down there at first.
Not an easy play for Adrian Gonzalez. And that was down the line. He had to go over there. He had to backhand it. And late in the games, we've been talking about this infield. And late in the games is when you have an infield that's been bad, and we're talking about the hops and how it gets eaten up. Well, it's even more so toward the end of the game, and you can even just see the infield as you're looking at it, about just kind of all the cleat marks and divots on there. So it's not like it was going down there smooth. And really on any infield late in the game, whether it's this one or not across, that's what you're going to be dealing with, and he stays with that nicely.
Alex Smith thrilled that Clayton Kershaw's not in there anymore. Struck out all 3 times against Clayton. Takes ball 1 from Hatcher, just a little bit low. On deck is Nick Markakis. If Smith reaches, representing the potential winning run, Gonzalez would go to the guy that's been his best hitter this year. Ball 2.
Coming into the year, Freddie Freeman going to be your best hitter, but Nick Markakis has really shined as a veteran, getting the day off today to rest, day game after a night game. A very potent bat.
That's a strike, 2-1. Hatcher getting the first 2 in this inning. You don't want to have Smith reach, even with 2 outs. Enough speed where him getting first base almost like him getting second base with his stolen base ability. 2-1. In the air to center. Thompson with plenty of room. And on to extra innings we go for the 2nd day in a row. Thompson will lead off the 10th after another scoreless inning. Another perfect inning from this Dodger pen. For the second day in a row, for the second time in 24 hours. Extra innings at Turner Field, tied at 1. And our player of the game today, pretty easy choice. Brought to you by Lexus, Clayton Kershaw with his first 10 strikeout performance of the season.
He's been fantastic as the player of the game. You wonder, how can you give it to him with a no decision? Well, he is the reason that they are in this situation to possibly win this game. And he did it with a lot less stuff than he normally comes to the mound with.
Alexio Gondo comes to the mound now. The Dodgers bringing 5, 6, and 7 up. He pitched last night. Pretty good numbers through 7 games so far this year for the former Texas Ranger.
Health and command. If he's healthy and he can keep his command locked in, he's still got a very powerful arm.
A couple of defensive changes. Francoeur moves from right to left as Markakis comes in and plays right. Trace Thompson to lead off the 10th inning against Ogando. This would be a nice time for Trace to get his first home run in a Dodger uniform. He does have good power. Showed off some of it in his big league debut last year with the White Sox, hitting 5 home runs in his couple of months with the team. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He definitely swung right there to try to get one. And that was the time. Your hitter going up there going, all right, let me get one. Let me get myself one, and especially after the first pitch being a ball, thinking he doesn't want to get behind. Pitcher doesn't want to get behind you 2-0, so I'm going to let it fly. Now it's back, regroup, get a ball you can drive.
Behind it, the 94, behind in the count, 1-2. Trace Thompson, Southern California native, went to Santa Margarita Catholic. Waits on a 1-2. Takes it in the dirt with Hernandez on deck. Grandal to follow. Adam Liberatore loosening in the Dodgers pen. It would be a 3rd consecutive day for him pitching. He's yet to allow a run in his time in the bigs this year. 9-1-2 due up for the Braves in the bottom of this inning. One out.
With Clayton Kershaw being the player of the game, he pitched more innings than the other 2 starters combined in this series. Only a total of 7 2/3. The bullpen now has gone 11 1/3.
It was Alex Wood in the opener. It was Ross Stripling last night. It's Kike Hernandez taking ball 1. It's the first time in Kershaw's career, 246 starts, 10 strikeouts and 10 hits allowed in the same outing. Braves out hitting the Dodgers 10-7. They've committed 3 errors, Atlanta has. Dodgers have committed 1 error. Game is tied at 1, as is this series. Atlanta taking the opener. The Dodgers' sloppiest night of the season Tuesday, 8-1. And LA last night scoring the game's final 5 runs, winning it in 10 by a score of 5-3. Here's a 2-0 to Kike Hernandez and a foul back.
Good swing by Kike Hernandez on that ball. Just missed it. This isn't a swing where you're trying to protect. This is a swing where you're thinking, okay, if I get my pitch, I either hit it in the gap or I can hit it over the fence.
Three and one. Yasmani Grandal due next. See if he gets one to drive here. That's a line drive, base hit into left field. Kike Hernandez, a 1-out single against Ogando. Dodgers already with their 4th extra innings game this season. They played them on back-to-back nights at San Francisco. They play it on back-to-back days here in Atlanta. They're 2-1 in extra innings. The Braves are 1-2. Started their season with an extra innings loss on a day where they blew the lead in the 9th. Not the tone to set for your year. Started that 9-game losing streak. 4 of 5 since.
Ogando keeping an eye on Kike Hernandez over there. Chase Utley pretty much stole the win yesterday. Ogando can uncork a wild one too when he's trying to be quick to home.
Runs in this one since the 1st inning. Both teams play to their only run of the day. A 1-0. Grandal hits a fly ball to center. That one's carrying well. It's over his head and it's off the wall. Kike read it well and will score easily. A go-ahead double for Yasmani Grandal, and the Dodgers take the lead in the 10th.
Stays inside this ball, Nomar, and kind of spins it away from the center fielder.
Just keeps his head down on that ball, driving it the other way. And fortunately for the Dodgers is that it caroms off the wall. It could have easily have gone over for a ground rule double, and then Kike would have been at 3rd base. But instead, the fact that it does hit the wall, it stays in. Kike's able to score easily, and the fire right there, the excitement.
Guess who? Justin Turner to the plate now, with the Dodgers jumping in front in the top of the 10th for the 2nd game in a row. It was Turner that did it for him last night. Today it's Grandal when it's ball 1 on JT.
Well, we said yesterday, get some insurance runs. They were able to get 1 extra yesterday. Nice to get a couple here if they could.
Grandal provided that insurance. The base hit to right.
What a huge turnaround from game 1. 8-1 loss. Come out, play a little sloppy, flat, get used to this bad Turner field. And then Adrian Gonzalez's home run yesterday gets him off the mat. Chase Utley throughout the whole series has just been the MVP. Now Kershaw puts up 8 strong innings, waiting for the bats to wake up. Here they are.
You know, we say so many times how the starting pitcher can set the tone of the game, and also just the pitchers in general can set the tone. Well, let's not forget yesterday how the bullpen really did an unbelievable job as well, keeping them in the ball game so they can come back and win. Then you got Kershaw doing the job here today.
Turner waited back on it, protected to stay alive. Chris Hatcher is in position to get the win now. And Kenley Jansen will be called upon for the bottom of the 10th. caught guessing wrong. Strike 3. Oganda with his second K of the frame, and up comes Howie Kendrick. Still looking for that insurance run in a 2-1 game. It'll be Markakis, Ibar, and Castro for the Braves against Jansen in the bottom of the 10th inning. Will it be with a 1-run deficit for Atlanta, or can the Dodgers get one here with Kendrick? Ball 1. Three here in Atlanta, 3 in Colorado starting tomorrow. Scott Kazmir against John Gray, making his 2016 debut for the Rockies tomorrow night. One kicks off of Flowers and allows Grandal to advance to third. A little wild pitch. Gray, the 3rd overall pick a few years ago out of Oklahoma. Dealt with an oblique injury during spring training, so just now getting activated and ready to go tomorrow. Kenta Maeda, Tyler Chatwood on Saturday before Alex Wood looks to finish the trip better than he started it Sunday against Colorado's Jordan Lyles. 2-0 to Howie Kendrick. Line to right. Markakis has it. And the inning is over. Time to fasten the seatbelts again. Kenley Jansen comes on after Yasmani Grandal's go-ahead RBI double in the 10th. Big fella Kenley Jansen tied for the major league lead with 6 saves. Got number 6 last night, and in 6 2/3 this season, Orioles allowed 2 base runners.
Yeah, 13 hours between game time, and Kenley has done one thing as he continues to grow as a closer and be one of the best closers in the game. It's his efficiency. It only took him 12 pitches last night through 8 strikes to get the save, and so he is very fresh and ready to go here.
And he has Yasiel Puig in defensively form now in right field. That pushes Kike Hernandez over to left and brings Howie Kendrick out of the game. Markakis, Ibar, Castro due up against Kenley. Dodgers trying to win in 10 innings for the 2nd consecutive day, and what a nice plane ride to Colorado that would make. Markakis has been the top hitter this season for the Braves. It started in every game before today. Off of the bench to start the 10th. Kenley starts him with a cut piece, strike 1. Just a little bit in. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Earlier that was being called a strike.
Falls behind, barely missing on back-to-back offerings. 2-1. Markakis averaged 16 home runs per season in his almost decade in Baltimore, and a launching pad that is Camden Yards. In his first year as a Brave last year, plus coming off off-season neck surgery, only homered 3 times and hasn't not gone deep this year. On the edge, 2-2.
Sometimes you think the plate's on roller skates back there. Oh, he gets the inside. Oh, now he's getting the outside.
Nick Markakis leading off this 10th inning by striking out against Jansen. 1 gone.
It moves ever so subtly, but it moves ever so late. Very little spin that you can recognize the movement coming. That's why the cut fastball is so hard for the hitters to pick up.
Extra tough on those left-handed batters, and Eric Ibar happens to be a switch hitter. That left-handed against Jansen, looking for save number 149. That'd be 12 short of the club record. Strike 1 on Ibar as he got right in the hands. Ibar started this game with a double against Kershaw and scored the only run of the game for the Braves. Long time ago. Down the left field line, a fair ball. Hernandez over to play the carom. And the Braves have the tying run in scoring position against Jansen with 1 out in the 10th.
Same type of hit that Ibar got off of Kershaw in his very first at bat. Used that left field line.
Talk about the cutter trying to get on the hands of a lefty. That one just was right down the middle of the plate. That one didn't get on the inner half to try to saw him off.
Double down the left field line right-handed, double down the left field line left-handed.
Daniel Castro try and get this game extended. Braves have been one of the best teams in baseball so far this year with men in scoring position. Strike 1. Ibar Goodwheels representing the tying run. Jansen with an 0-1 pitch to Castro. Towards the right field corner, but Puig is there with an over-the-shoulder catch. Twirls and fires it back into the infield. Up to third goes Ibar. Puig makes you hold your breath on that fly ball. 2 gone and 1 out away.
He did. There's a couple of things. One, the catch, the way he gets to this ball, and then we just kind of, usually you see guys catch it in front of them, and 2, where he's throwing it. There's no way he's going to throw anybody out at third here. The tag. So this ball shouldn't even go that way. You have everybody lined up really toward home, because that's where the play would be if Eric Ibar decided to just try to steal one, go from, as he's tagging, go to third and try to circle around to go home. So that's where the ball should start going. Throw it to the infield nice and easy. Make sure everybody's at to keep him at third base.
Freddie Freeman has been intentionally walked more than any player in the National League this year. They're going to go after him with first base open and Adonis Garcia, a right-handed hitter, on deck. The effect of the cutter. Strike one. And he has had good success against Jansen in his career. The only time that Jansen got him was last night with a strikeout to open the 10th inning. Tying run at third, 2 gone, 10th inning. 0-1 to Freddie Freeman. Hammered in the air to right center. Thompson is back with room, and the Dodgers take the series with back-to-back extra inning wins. It was 5-3 last night, scoring the game's final 5 runs. And less than 24 hours later, it's 2-1 with Yasmani Grandal's double the difference.
Games like this, Dodgers coming back in the end.